the half-elven YouTuber, as I'm starting to call myself, coming to you with episode 2 reaction, Dungeons of Drakkenheim, a campaign by the Dungeon Dudes. Quick disclaimer, I do not own nor am associated with the Dungeon Dudes channel. There'll be a link to the channel in the description eventually. Hey, I'm just doing this as a fan. I might try to do another one of these today, later on, but or it might just be a reaction to the Legends of Vox Machina on. I might not be able to do either. I don't know. I'm gonna make sure. I make no promises with my schedule. So, last we left off, the group, which I think I'm going to just be calling like the Ghost 3 or the 3 Ghosts, because each of 3 of the members who have their own name for the group. Won't be revealing all those, but those had just completed a sortie into the ruins of the city of Drakkenheim, where where at the site of an old tavern, they discovered a nest of ratlings, killed most, including them, leaving only like one, who referred to as the prince of the rat prince alive. They avoided what was it? I forget the group's name. They were like paladins of just watch. Just go back and just watch the episode. I can't. It's like I've only watched. This is my first episode. This is just episode 2. It'll be a while before I can get some of the facts right.
Drakkenheim is no more. Struck by a falling star, the city bathed in eldritch fire on that woeful eve. The tumultuous aftermath brought chaos, families torn asunder, and a kingdom shattered. 15 years later, monsters stalk the haunted streets of Drakkenheim. Caught amidst rival factions struggling to rule the rubble, 3 unlikely partners venture forth into the crumbling city in search of riches, renown, and revenge.
Monty's character is Sebastian Crow.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Monty Martin. Thank you so much for your patience while we resolved that little bit of an audio sync issue. We had some last-minute crashes with OBS before we launched the stream today, and it seems like a couple bugs wormed their way into the system. But please let us know if there's anything that we can do technically to improve, and we'll keep an eye on it and try to sort things out as we go along. We really appreciate the feedback and letting us know, and we want to make sure these things are as ironed out as they can be for our garage/basement level streaming setup. So just to round it out again, welcome to Drakkenheim, and my name is Monty Martin.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin.
And we are the Dungeon Dudes, and we are joined in Drakkenheim by our good friends, Jill Donitis and Joe O'Gorman. And we are delving back into Drakkenheim with our characters. And if you can just let us know who your character's name is and their class, and we'll dive right back into it.
I'm Pluto Jackson.
Pluto.
I'm a fighter, and I'm here. Right here.
Sucker Ranger.
Looking at you.
For the Curry.
I'm Sebastian Crow. I'm a half-elf shadow sorcerer, and I like to set things on fire occasionally.
And I'm Veo Senya, and I am a 3rd level Tabaxi Gloomstalker Ranger, and I'm here to lead these two through the city. We'll see how that goes.
Well, it's been going
Great.
great. I guess we'll go with great for now. An enthusiastic great. Veo might disagree. As last time they ventured back into the ruins of Drakkenheim in search of a massive shard of delirium, a strange crystal which has been found in the ruins, which is said to be pieces of the meteor which wiped out Drakkenheim 15 years ago. This potent magical crystal has strange and unpredictable and somewhat addictive properties, and thus the Amethyst Academy, at the behest of your old friend River, had sent you into Drakkenheim to recover a large shard of it, which you did, and with your lives, in fact.
And
but with another
rescued someone.
A little bit more in tow, perhaps, than you expected, as you make your way from the ruins of the Rat's Nest Tavern with another survivor in tow, a member of the Hooded Lanterns, the old city watch, by the name of Petra, who you found in the burrows beneath the Rat's Nest itself. Petra herself, unwilling to travel the city ruins alone, has asked to camp the rest of the night with you, so that she might follow you back into the city tomorrow or when you head in next, to hopefully make it back to the barracks of the City Watch where she resides. Petra is a rather quiet and reserved traveling companion. She's short and slightly built, and at first, now that you see her in the moonlight, you think she could be a teenager, but she definitely has the bearing of someone that's probably in her mid-20s. Once you see her capabilities in the field, she's very aware of her surroundings, but quite quiet. She has auburn hair, brown eyes, and you can see that she's almost always scanning in the distance for potential threats. She's very much someone aware of the dangers of the city as you move forward. She keeps close by you as you move through the city streets back out towards the outskirts. And I'll turn it over to you all to decide how you'd like to proceed from here.
I'm very muddy.
Yeah, and acid. I got a lot of acid.
Yeah,
on
you look like you kind of acid washed your armor. I do have a bag full of barbecued rat skewers, though. So I mean, we can eat. We can eat tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I have
always top of my priority list.
Bag full of delirium. Like you kind of buzz over the fact that it's super addictive and it explodes around magic and stuff. And then I'm just carrying like a giant piece in my backpack. I'm not thrilled.
How do you feel?
I feel like a mule. I feel dispendable.
That's why we brought you along. You are the one who carries things.
I am
okay.
royalty.
I think we need to
there's a little
get it
delay
off our hands and get it back to River before we do anything. So I feel like that should be kind of priority number one, especially in these dark and dangerous streets.
Let's head back to the mill, and that's where River will meet us, and we can offload the goods from our mule.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, hold on, Pluto.
Yeah. Oh, Pluto. Sorry, not mule.
He has a name.
I forgot. And yeah, we will take care of Petra and get her back home safely. Hopefully, maybe. I
figure that Petra. I mean, she doesn't have to know what we're doing with River. She can kind of be off in the distance while
she'll hang out at the camp, and we'll go up to the mill.
Yeah,
we gotta keep it on that
Petra,
DL.
Are you okay with barbecued rat for dinner?
Sounds delicious.
Oh, good.
We make do with what we've got. Normally, we do try to head outside the city when we can. The forests are quite overgrown, and there's quite a lot of wildlife that's returned to the outskirts around the city. It's good hunting, actually. But in the city, food is scarce, and you gotta get what you can eat.
I feel ya, girl. I feel ya.
Yeah, it's one matter when you're just eating for one, but with a whole company of soldiers trying to make it work in the city, supplies are a big problem for us. So we've had to eat some pretty disgusting things in our time.
Well, I can tell you one location where you can find plenty of barbecued rats. We left an entire pit filled with it, so yeah.
We try not to eat the rat folk, though. A few of us have gotten really sick from eating them. You weren't actually eating the rat folk themselves.
I take like a piece of arm and like shove it back in my bag. And I'm like, no, of course not.
No, you have to be really careful out here. The creatures have all that haze infused in them, and I've seen people just... It's a pretty ugly way to die, suffice to say.
I mean, I just eat whatever I want. So hopefully I haven't had anything kooky happen to me because of this haze.
Does this have anything to do with the fact that you can touch the delirium and we can't? Does that also mean you can eat these things and we can't? Because I was under the impression that if you ate it, I could eat it. And now I'm a little concerned.
You've been the guinea pig for this whole...
Maybe we should find a different guinea pig.
Yeah, one that's more in line with our values.
A little bit more unique in that way. So I'm going to continue to eat whatever I can get my little paws on. So, yeah.
To the mill.
You're staying at the Eckerman Mill.
Yes.
That place is a trash heap.
Listen,
we stay where we can.
I don't insult your house. Do I come in and let you know that your little camp is a little bit messy? No.
We leave a lot of graffiti there.
Yeah,
and
I've seen it. Sometimes on runs we have to stop by there to clean out the last person who got stabbed in the back by their old companions in there.
Yeah, definitely like a 1 star out of 5 rating when you compare it to other hotels. But I mean, a roof is a roof, you know? Can take what we get.
Yeah, I saw the rat's nest. It wasn't really a great...
It's not a better place to stay.
No.
I guess it's one of the best places to stay if you want to avoid the taxes of the city and stay outside its jurisdiction. Although I would have thought a lot of people would have used Emberwood Village for that.
Was I supposed to be paying taxes this whole time living in the city?
Well, of course. I mean, the Hooded Lanterns still need to collect their dues for protecting the city.
I mean, I've been paying the taxes the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
We have no need to go to Emberwood Village. It's a little far, and we're good. We're good with the mill, right?
All right.
For now.
Cool.
We can go to the mill and we'll see what happens.
It's the late hours of the night, far past midnight, as you trudge back through the city streets, along the back roads of Shepherd's Way.
Have they been
up
in
through
the city?
the Karen Hills, before after about an hour of traveling, the Eckerman Mill, only lying a few miles outside the city, can be seen. It's there that you make your camp for the evening. Petra herself volunteers to help set your camp and set the perimeter and the watch. She pulls her weight in the camp and very quickly kind of almost assuming like you all know how to set a fire, right?
I definitely know how to set a fire.
Okay.
I'm usually the one who sets the fire around here.
We don't want to attract too much attention, but this late at night, this far out of the city, there shouldn't be anything that really poses much of a threat out here.
I cast Firebolt at the fire pit.
Good. She huddles up in her cloak and kind of asks for a bit of water and finds a nearby creek to fill up, and she kind of like starts washing the mud out of all of her clothing and the bits of blood and everything else that's there. Do the rest of you sit down for the evening?
I think so. I need to wash up. My cloak's a little dirty. I got a bit of mud on it. I almost fell once in there. It was
yeah, it was bad for you.
As you're washing, Petra asks, "You didn't see if there were any others down there, were there? Living or dead?"
I didn't see anybody.
It was really dark for some reason.
I could see fine.
I had a lot of trouble seeing. I'm going to refer to these two, but I'm pretty sure we cleansed it.
Are you referring to like people or?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw any other Hooded Lanterns or anyone else that might have been down there.
I didn't, but are you looking for somebody in particular?
Big was your troop.
The rest of my unit.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, no signs of humans or anyone, but that could be a good sign.
You didn't see if they had taken any of the supplies or any of the other anything else that we were bringing back?
What were you bringing back?
Well, we, me and the others of my unit, we are the supply runners for the Hooded Lanterns. We head outside. It's our job to head outside the city and meet with whoever we can get to supply us with anything. And we were bringing back, some medicines, some Band-Aids, some chemical supplies, a few other bits of food and dry goods. Maybe I'll try to get a squad and see if we can go back there later.
Yeah, we didn't see anything of that sort, but just be careful if you go back.
We will.
I worry that the Silver Order has probably had a chance to look in there now. After our run-in.
She sighs loudly and says, "It wouldn't surprise me. As noble as they are, the city makes a scavenger out of everybody."
You're not wrong.
That's fine.
Well, I wasn't exactly looking for much down there. I was just trying to stay alive while we were being covered in rats. So it wasn't my priority, unfortunately, so I can't really...
What were you doing down there anyways?
I used to go there to drink, and I thought I would hit up the old place, see how it was doing, and next thing I know, Pluto fell in a hole.
And, come on, dive bars, right? They really took the name too far.
She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit. You and I both know that place was completely destroyed. Why did you go down there? Did you see my squad get attacked?
I heard some squeaking, and automatically when I hear squeaking in this town, I go for the rats because, like we mentioned, food for me.
We're pest control. We were hired. We were hired to take care of pests.
We had known that there was an infestation. We had to go cleanse it. I really like the word cleanse. I'm going to keep using it as often as I can today. It usually means scorched earth to kill all. We just except this was kind of our first foray. It's kind of like a test to see if we're ready to take on something bigger.
Who's paying you to come into the city to kill rats? That's normally our job.
No one.
Just good do-gooders.
I used to live here, and so we kind of met up, and she does live here. I used to live here, and he's here because he just wants to, I don't know, represent his homeland.
Honestly thought this was what you do here.
All right. Sebastian, give me a deception check.
It's par for the course.
24.
She eyes you skeptically, but hearing about how you grew up in the city, her eyes kind of widen up a little bit. She says, "So if you want to fight for your homeland, you could come back and you could join up with us at the Hooded Lanterns. We don't have many spellcasters, but you'd have safety, security, lots of friends and camaraderie. If what you want to do is good in the city, that's what we're fighting for. We're just trying to make our home again."
That's a noble concept. I'm a bit of a freelancer, so my idea was go in, kill all the rats, and then come to you guys and say, "Hey, I killed all those rats. You should pay us."
All those people out there are fighting wars because they're all trying to stand on their own. We're here in the city working together, trying to do the right thing. If you want to stand on your own and die, be my guest, but you could talk to the commander. I'm sure we're always looking for more recruits.
What if we want to be freelance agents who help you out from time to time?
I don't know why you'd do that, but maybe I could introduce you to the commander and the others when we head back towards the barracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't talk to him.
I've talked to him before. He's all right.
Good.
She doesn't push the issue that much further and kind of quiets down through the rest of the evening. Unless there's anything that you'd like to do or unless you'd like to continue talking to each other, the night can pass.
I think I need a nap.
I'm going to clean my armor.
I think I'm sitting by the fire because I don't go to bed with sopping wet fur, so I need to stay up a little bit and dry off.
I
first bath in months.
I very meticulously clean my coat. I really want it to look nice for tomorrow. I don't like mud or dirt.
Alrighty. The evening passes, each of you taking your turns with the watch, and a rather impotent daybreak signals a new day. The rain pitter-patters in the morning, and that's kind of the first sign that it's morning, is the rain. As the night stars fade away and are taken up again by the daily clouds which hang over Drakkenheim. Looks good. It looks like it's going to be a normal rainstorm today.
Oh, not toxic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Rain.
And as you take your breakfast, Petra starts packing up her things and turns to you all and says, "Are you ready to make way back into the city?"
We have to meet an old friend here in a few moments, so we're going to have a quick little chat with our old friend, and then we can be on our way.
All right, let's go. Are you meeting them in the mill?
Yeah.
Okay. I can keep a watch for you if you'd like.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind like hanging out here, keeping a watch. We just need to have a quick chat, and haven't seen our friend in a while, so we're just going to go up and talk to her.
All right. It's no more than a few minutes later as you head back up to the Eckerman mill, that you can hear the familiar loud footsteps of River's guardian coming over the hill, and kind of sitting on the steps of the windmill waiting for her to approach. River's being able to see River by daylight just kind of reminds you how unsettling she is to look at. She is a tiefling after all, and she's one of those tieflings that her teeth are just a little bit too pointy and her tongue's just like a little bit too long. And so she's not unpleasant to look at, but after she starts talking for a while, there's just something about her mouth. It's like, that's weird, guys.
I can't stop watching it as she talks. I'm just like horrified, but then I keep trying to make eye contact just to make sure that she doesn't think I'm offending her.
And as usual, she River is a short tiefling woman with mottled brown skin and blue hair. And in the rain, her cloak is her cloak's hood is turned up. But as she steps into the mill with you, and after greeting you and smiling warmly, she pulls her hood down. And you all know that the reason why she's been called River or years and years is because her hair's blue and her horns kind of look like boats. Kind of the way they curve back in her hair. And it was a nickname that she got as a very young child, and so much so that in fact, you don't think she's ever told you her actual name.
No, definitely not.
I thought that was her actual name. Whoops.
Hi, River.
Surprise to me.
And aside from the purple cloak of the Amethyst Academy, River travels quite practically. She wears kind of like riding breeches and leathers and leather traveling jerkin. And she smiles warmly as she comes in the mill, but she very conspicuously sees Petra, and as she comes into the mill, she's like, "I didn't ask for an extra associate who's
Did
your
she
friend."
stay too close? Was she not far enough away?
No, she's over in the camp. I mean, she probably saw River coming, but well, I wasn't going to leave her to die down there.
She kind of looks behind her and says, "All right."
Hopefully this will put your worries at ease. And I remove the backpack and I hand it to her.
She sees the backpack and she motions for her bodyguard to grab it. And the bodyguard, a large suit of plate mail, with a blackened face that you can't see underneath the visor, comes and picks it up, and you can see that its arm kind of like lowers a little bit, that it wasn't expecting something quite that heavy. and it opens up the bag and pulls out the piece of delirium, which is this massive crystalline shard that it has to hold in two hands. And you see River's eyes just go wide. She's like, that is a lot more than we were expecting.
The biggest piece of shiny we've gotten so far.
You're welcome.
We deliver.
Oh, I also have these. I take out the smaller shards that we collected.
You'll have to forgive me. A bonus is certainly in order for a find like this, but I'm going to have to see to it that you're more adequately compensated. As she reaches into her cloak and produces a bag of gold that weighs as much as the shard.
Oh, yep. There's a delay.
And kind of passes it back. Passes it back to all of you, and you.
Pluto's eyes widen.
Are they chocolate?
This can buy food, Vale.
She kind of and as you say that, she opens up her the other side of her cloak and produces a paper package and passes it to you, Vale.
I'm so excited.
And inside are a selection of salmon, haddock, and tuna.
It's like delicate.
It's like 12 fish.
We got what we want.
We'll split the gold.
You got what you want.
Want to eat the fish.
I think everyone won.
I put it in my pouch, and I'm just like jumpy a little bit because I'm so excited. I'm like, can we get out of here so I can eat these fish? Like, let's go.
River says, Veo, don't eat it all in one sitting.
No guarantees.
And you two gentlemen, don't spend it all in one place. If you go to Emberwood Village, don't spend it all at the Gilded Lantern.
Is that?
Don't tell me how to spend my money.
Just turns on his old friend. Well, hey, if you ever have other work for us, I feel like we're all happy to oblige, especially if payment is in such quick response.
And if you ever want to meet us at the Gilded Lantern for a few drinks, it's on us because we apparently are rolling in cash now.
Well, that might go a little ways, but this is a much larger find than we anticipated, and you should be paid commensurately with that. Let me see what I can do. There's really, unless you go to Emberwood Village, there's not much you can do with that gold here in the city, so try to keep it safe. For
getting more.
That means I have to go to Emberwood Village, I guess.
That means we're going to Emberwood Village.
Later. I'm not ready.
Well, but on the matter of more work, there actually is something that requires a different skill set, but I think that you'll be well suited to it, particularly you, Sebastian, and I think that your friends will come in handy with this one. Are you interested?
Always.
Okay.
We have nowhere else to be except apparently going to check out the Hooded Lanterns, but
I'm in.
That's not important. I like getting paid.
Yeah.
Your friend there, she's one of the Hooded Lanterns?
Seemingly.
I don't know if we'd call her our friend, but yes.
Okay.
She was a prisoner, and now she's kind of like she's like our tent putter-upper. I haven't had a proper, how do I say this, servant in a while. So it's a kind of a nice...
She's not a servant. She's our survivor, and I can respect that.
Just watch out for them. They're still trying to collect taxes on people in the city, I've heard. So if you have all that much gold, you might want to keep it safe or you're bound to lose 10% of it.
I have to give her my fish in taxes?
Listen, the Hooded Lanterns are crazy. They're clinging on. They're like a...
Yeah, I just thought
like a poor damn dog trying to protect the corpse of their dead owner.
I think they have good
corpse
values.
is the city.
Yeah, and I hear you're supposed to kick the corpses. It's traditional. I'm learning a lot, and I have like I have a guidebook that I'm adding to that I'm really proud of.
Pluto, do you think that everybody that we pick up is your servant?
Anybody that's and I mean she's really good. She put up the tent last night, and what else did she?
Do you think
started
we're
a fire.
your servants?
I mean, you're like more than servants, but less than. I mean, you know what? What's up? Hey.
The hood might be crazy, but they are also dangerous. It's people that fight with too much honor. They're kind of hard to predict in my books. I'd rather deal with a bunch of crazy bandits than people that say they are still loyal to some sort of nation, but that's just me. In any case, I do have some more work for you if you're interested.
Definitely.
Okay. Let's get down to business then, shall we? As you might know, Sebastian, Drakkenheim's been home to a bunch of malfeasance, wizards who have fallen out of favor with the Amethyst Academy.
How many people actually live in the bounds of the city? Because if so,
one of them has been hiding out in Drakkenheim longer than any. A man named Oscar Yoren. He had a falling out with the guild about 12 years ago, and we thought he was dead, to be perfectly honest, but it turns out he's here alive in Drakkenheim. He's holed up in a mansion called Reed Manor, up along the Market Road in the north end of the city. He's survived in Drakkenheim for a long time, and in his heyday, he was a brilliant researcher. He kind of left the academy, I think, because he wasn't getting the funding that he wanted for his experiments. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's been doing some more work in Drakkenheim. We'd like an update on his research progress.
Smash it all.
Ideally, no.
Oh, I read that totally wrong.
She laughs and says, "When was the last time you read a book?"
How many pages in a book? I read this walls all the time.
Don't worry, I'm not asking you to read his research, but if you can get it and bring it back to me, I'd be more than happy to read it for you.
Question, River. How burnt do you require Oscar to be?
Listen, the only value Oscar has to the Academy now is what he knows. We have no intention of bringing him back into the fold, and from what my higher-ups tell me, he's not coming back, no matter what. But he still might know something, whether it's about the delirium, the other groups here. He's a good researcher. We'll give him credit for that. Anything he might have is worth it to us. So if you want another bag of gold like the last one, find out what he knows. If you have to kill him, fine. But he's probably got a lot of information in his head. So if you do have to kill him,
bring you his head?
Bring that back.
Noted.
Wait, is she serious?
You guys can do that?
We have ways of making people talk.
Neat.
Even if it's just their head. I like.
But
I
if
like
you can get him to loosen
Academy.
his lips before you have to separate his head from its body, that'll make life a lot easier on us. We would rather you not bring him in alive, though, to us. So whatever, and if you do have to decide that he's not worth killing, it would be ideal if he didn't know it was us. We'd rather, if you do kill him, make it look like he pissed off the wrong people, not us.
What's his business in Drakkenheim? He's selling, or does he just do research and experiments?
We found out about this lead because we'd heard that there have been a few people selling potions and supplies in the city itself, which is insane to me to think that anyone would actually want to hide out in here. But it makes more sense when it's him. There's a few complications that the delirium and the haze make it difficult for us to leverage all of our resources at the Academy in finding and tracking down malfeasance. And at this stage, there's enough of them hanging out in the city that we would rather they didn't know we were onto them yet.
And his research has to do with the delirium and all of that, the meteor and the shards.
It wouldn't surprise me if it did, but if it doesn't, it still might be interesting to us. We have a feeling that he might be, given that a few of the other wizards that we've run into before they've hidden out in the city most of them took an interest in the delirium. But Oscar is in another league himself in terms of his capability as a researcher, and if anyone's figured anything out, he's probably got a good shot at it.
Wonderful.
Any other questions?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, we know where he is. We know what we got to do. We're on it, Big Blue Cheese.
Alrighty. As I said, Reed Manor is in the north area of the city, outside the walls. You should be able to find it pretty easily. There's several manors in the area, and I'm sure Veo has a good enough understanding of the lay of the land that she should be able to lead you there.
I got this.
And as I said, I leave the discretion of what to do with him up to you, but I wouldn't burn the house down at first, Sebastian.
I'll do my best to
We
have
need
him maintain
his notes,
fire.
if he has any.
Okay, fair enough. I'll get the notes, then I'll burn the house down. Maybe. I'll try not to burn the house down. How does that sound?
Yes.
Sounds good. I mean, you could burn the house down after you've taken the notes.
Fair enough.
It's a waste of a good house, though. In this
It's
city?
true.
That's actually very true.
New base camp?
It is interesting that he's camped out there so long. If the house is in good shape, it might make another good staging ground for future operations that might be a little bit more, I would say, discreet than the mill now. So think about that.
Cool.
Pluto, you look puzzled. What's the matter?
Pluto's going to stay eerily quiet and just nod along.
All right. So, with that, River bows, draws her hood back up, and says, "I'll give you a few days for this one. I'll meet me back out here in a few days with whatever the results of your work are."
Wonderful. We'll be here.
All right. See you soon. Be safe.
Pluto, you seem eerily quiet.
That's strange. I agree.
Usually you're the loudest.
Well, I like money, and we just saved like the tax lady by the fire, but we're gonna go beat up a scientist for his homework. Like, does anyone else have any qualms with this?
He is a rogue wizard who betrayed the academy. It's literally my job to track down evil wizards.
All I'm saying is maybe we can find an arrangement that allows us to
They didn't say we had to kill
get
him.
our
They
hands on
said
his research and maybe let him live.
that's the ideal solution. Yeah.
That'd be nice. But, I mean, a job's a job.
Like,
Gotta
if I
get the job
if
done.
I gotta help this servant, if she can't be my servant, then I feel like a bully right now.
You are a bully. And since when were you not into fighting?
I'm down with fighting. It's just like I fight big monsters and beasts, and I slay dragons and rat people. I feel like we're just airing people for the Amethyst Academy now, and now I feel like we're kind of doing their dirty work.
Have you ever fought a wizard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worse than a monster.
Well,
So how do you think I get this dirty?
look, we'll go, but I have my I'm struggling with my personal
It's true. I mean, this technically isn't in your wheelhouse, but maybe you'll learn a trick or two to be able to survive in this
All right.
city. So we'll get you to tag along.
Take me to
just in
Reed
case.
Manor.
Sadly, this is my entire wheelhouse. This is what I do. I kill wizards. Although we won't kill him if we don't have to. But if he turns on us, if he casts a spell in our direction, then we cast spells in his direction. Well, except you. You cast swords in his
I'm
direction.
gonna
And you cast arrows.
Okay. With that, you set out. As you head back down to your camp and begin packing things up, Petra turns back to you and says, "You didn't speak with your friend very long. Is everything okay?"
Yeah, we just wanted to see how she was doing, and kind of she lives in the area as well, so we just wanted to kind of get a lay of the lands. I used to live here, but we just want to kind of know where some good places to sightsee were.
And eat too. Food is important.
And sightsee.
Just kind of sightseeing.
Have you seen the city at night? It's beautiful.
They're taking me on kind of a tour. I'm new here, and I gotta say that it's different. This place is new to me, and I've heard stories of Drakkenheim, but I've never been here. And I gotta say, I was probably a lot better in the books 15 years ago, but this is neat.
Our tour books definitely need updating.
Yeah, there's got to be. You guys should have. Like, I booked my tickets a long time ago.
Yeah, like the first place on the tour list was the Rat's Nest to go grab a drink at a dive bar, and that turned out great.
Yeah.
So we're going to drop you off.
All right.
And then we're going to go to check out some other locations in the city. But,
So you have other business then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we have other touring
All right.
to do.
All right. Let's head back. We take the Shepherd's Road. Hopefully we can run into the next patrol of the lanterns, and I can get out of your way sooner than next. If any of my friends run into you in the future, just let them know that you ran into me, and maybe they'll let you off easy.
Do you guys have like a safe word, like a passphrase that we can use?
We change those every day, so I can't really say with any certainty what any of our codes are going to be from day to day. But if you let them know that you know Petra Lang, and maybe they'll
saved her.
Yeah, you saved me. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
And like I said, if you need shelter, if you need work, if you're sick of scrounging about the ruins, consider it. Right? Especially, I can tell you're all probably just looking for money and to pick over the corpse from some next place that you can find. And if you're looking for something a little bit more honorable than that, working with us is the way to go.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, we'll consider it, but I've had my run-ins with the lanterns, and they're not necessarily the free birds of the county. So, I think for now we'll stick to what we're doing.
There's bigger threats than just ratlings in the core of the city. That's why we've closed the gates down. So we really do need help on the inside there. And if you're brave enough to take on that many ratlings, you're certainly brave enough to fight the bigger monsters that are on the inside of the city. We could really use you.
Problem. We've dealt with far larger.
All right.
I killed a troll.
That's amazing. She, as you head forward, she
brag.
asked you to regale her of the tale of how you killed a troll.
And then it was on top of me, but then I got on top of it. We were wrestling.
Is that the whole story?
I wanted to come in like halfway through the story,
Yeah.
and he's standing on top of my brother Steve, and I'm like, "Get out of here!" But
This
that's
is Steve
trolls.
Jackson. It's in like Steve Jackson Games, the creator of Munchkin, is your brother. It's canon now.
It's canon. Okay, yeah.
That's how the Jackson family made their money. Yeah.
Killing trolls.
Fantastic. So as Pluto regales Petra with his tales of troll slaying and his entrepreneurial exploits of the Jackson family in the board game industry,
Dice. A lot of dice games.
You head along Shepherd's Way until you reach the Shepherd's Gate. It's within about eyeshot of it, where you can see the large Barbican-style gate with the two towers flanking it, and the still flying up over the towers of the gatehouse are the livery and the flags of Drakkenheim. And you can see in the distance as you come down the street that there are still soldiers patrolling this part of the wall and the towers, and you can hear a little bit of hustle and bustle within. And closer along the city streets, you can see that there is actually a wooden palisade barricade that has been set up outside the city gates here in the Shepherd's Way, that the hooded lanterns are using as kind of a first line of defense. And as you come up towards the palisade, Petra turns to you and says, "You're welcome to come into the barracks if you'd like."
Oh, I mean, I'll go in. I've got to say hi to Joe and Lorraine. It's been a while since I said them, and I think it was Steve's birthday last time. So, I mean,
another Steve.
There's a lot of Steves.
There's a lot of Steves.
It's a really common name.
It's a pretty common name in Drakkenheim. So, I mean, if they're in, I mean, they might be on patrol.
I mean, if you have no other business, you're welcome to stay with us for a couple days at least. We've got food, provisions.
Nah.
We do have somewhere else to be, but we could stop by and just say hey.
Yeah.
Maybe we can stop by on our way back.
Oh, we could do that too.
Yeah.
We do have a few days to complete this mission, but I don't know. What do you guys
You mean
think?
sightseeing, right?
Yeah, we want to go sightseeing and then we'll come back here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that I want to press the issue, but
Say hi to
know,
Lorraine for me.
on a day where it's not raining acid, is probably a really great day to get a lot of things done.
All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye then.
As I'm leaving,
I hope you don't get killed in the city.
I
You too.
pound my chest towards the flags in respect.
Petra salutes as well, and she turns to head back into the city gates. And as she turns towards the palisade, you can kind of hear like the horns being sounded. And as you turn to walk away in the city, you can see that there's a few other people that rush out from the gates, and there's a few other people that kind of like grab Petra and hug her, and like kind of like turn up, and you kind of just see her like shrug and look back towards the rest of you as you walk back into the city.
I turn one last time as we're leaving, and I'm like, Petra, just remember, my name's Sebastian Crow, and I saved you. Tell people.
Oh, you got me.
I also look a little bit longingly at them, because I did know, the group of them for a while, but I also turn my back and start to walk away pretty quickly, because I don't want to face that too much. So let's get out of here.
It hurts.
All right, I guess we're going to a manor to talk to a wizard.
We're gonna beat up a scientist
And steal his homework.
That's literally what we're doing, and I'm torn.
It's gonna be
like the pages out of his notebook.
out of
Like he's like doing his science homework. We bust in. We're like, River said to us.
out of the three of us, I think you're the most likely to beat somebody up.
I don't do it willing. Like
I just want to talk to him, Pluto.
You're in it. You're in it
to be
the.
seen.
And yeah, you can get the homework without an issue.
We just steal the homework.
That's what I do.
And we tell him his dog ate it.
Oh,
Your weird delirium-ridden dog.
Dog ate the homework. Tabaxi steals the homework.
Yeah,
It's
technically-
close.
Yeah, it's not lying.
That is lying.
Okay, it's a little lie.
Do you know what a lie is, Pluto?
I might be. Get me up to speed.
Alrighty. So you head through the streets of Drakkenheim, following along the city wall. There's a roadway that leads kind of along from the Shepherd's Gate near towards the Market Gate, and kind of passing through the areas of the ruins. It's the Shepherd's Gate and the Market's Gate are both in the northwest area of the city, and they're kind of the two closest entranceways from the direction that you've been venturing into the city by. The area here, as before, is part of the sprawl. So many of the homes are quite run down, and for the most part, little more than a ruin now. And so as you head further north, though, along the city wall, you can see that the hill that Drakkenheim is built on begins to rise sharply, and part of the city begins to rise up over the inner part of the city rises up on a cliff as the lower part of the city continues to sprawl outwards. And then as you get closer to the market way, a strange thing happens in the sprawl. Gentrification. As you move from a rather rundown area of the sprawl, the part along Market Road was a much more built up part of the city in its heyday, and the buildings turn into buildings of stone. What were ramshackle drinking taverns and tenement homes become rebuilt and renovated ramshackle ones. And this old part of the city was if the farmers and the poor people used the Shepherd's Gate to get into the city markets, the wealthier people used the Market Gate. And the roadways in this area of the city speak to that. As you head up and cross the Market Way itself, getting into the northern areas of the city, below the cliffs at the north edge of Drakkenheim are several larger estates and manors. These are where the nobles that couldn't afford real estate inside the city walls bought their homes. And so you pass by, you head through the areas, this northern area of the city, where the buildings are much more spread out, as each piece of property has kind of a yard. And in many cases, the manor houses really bear the scars of the looting and the chaos that happened at the fall of Drakkenheim. Pardon me. Passing manor houses that have been, many of which have been burnt down, many which bear the obvious signs of having been broken into and thoroughly looted. But eventually, at the end of a longer cul-de-sac, you come to the area where Reed Manor is. And the manor house itself is a moderately sized estate. It's as I said, it's on the north side of Drakkenheim, near the Market Row. And it is this rundown 2-story manor house, surrounded by a wrought iron fence. The yard is completely overgrown. It might have once been a beautiful garden, but now it's filled with brambles and shrubs. These kind of tough plants, which seem to be the only thing, aside from crabgrass, that can grow in Drakkenheim now. The manor house itself has it's 2 stories. Only the western wing of the manor house actually has a second level. The first appears to only be 1 level. But all across the stone ground level of the house are these long, thin windows that might have once been filled with stained glass, but now most of them have been boarded over, or in some cases have, very obviously, pieces of cloth have been strung across the windows because the glass has been long broken and salvaged. Nevertheless, you can see light shining from within on the first level. On the other side of the estate yard, there is a collapsed outbuilding. Perhaps it was once a barn or a stable, maybe even servants' quarters. But that building, made of wood, has almost entirely collapsed. Casing around the manor house itself, it seems that there is a short cobblestone pathway that leads from the fences to the yard to a short set of steps with central double doors. And in kind of the nested in this kind of alcove of the entranceway is a fountain which has been choked through with rainwater, and as the rain still falls below, you can see like it's overflowing, like clearly the drains of it have been clogged. There may, if there are other entrances to the building, it's certainly large enough that there's probably a back door around somewhere. You might have to cross the fence and go into the estate to see it. What will you do?
I have a plan.
All right, let's hear it.
I think
smashing down the door because I'm already.
Well, Veo, how good are you at sneaking into places?
How good is a mouse at eating cheese?
Depends. Is the cheese in a trap?
No.
Then relatively good?
Yes.
Okay. Pluto, how good are you at hitting things with a sword if things don't go well?
Oh, pretty good.
How good am I at talking to people?
Pretty good,
I like
actually.
where your head's at.
So
I'm into this so far.
we need the homework. We need to try to distract this wizard long enough to obtain his homework. We need to be ready to fight our way out if it doesn't go well.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
How do we know what the homework looks like?
I don't. But research, I'm imagining, just looks like a bunch of papers strewn about a research-looking room. I'm sure it will work itself out once we're in there.
I think I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay. Veo, first floor is lit up. Second floor is not. Correct?
The second floor does not appear to be illuminated.
You go in through the second floor.
Men.
You, Sebastian, you panic, knock on the door, and ask and tell them that someone's coming after you and you need somewhere to hide. And then I show up and I'm looking for you. The old deceive switcheroo.
Like if they decide that I'm like in need of help, will they not just then try to kill you?
I
to
mean,
defend me. My thought was we're gonna knock on their door and I'm going to pretend to be the potions investigator. Here because I heard.
Oh, your plan is 1,000 times better than mine. Why? Oh, the first potions investigator in Drakkenheim in over.
Yes, I heard that they have the best potions, and I'm here to look into that. And it seemed much better in my head when I thought of it.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
You do have a big bag of gold.
Which I can show to them to say how much I've been paid as a potion investigator.
Or you could ask to buy potions.
Look, when in potion
That makes
investigator,
much more sense.
you're showing up your salary. Is that your plan? Look how much money I make as a potion, and they're like, I should do that. And you guys just start talking about potions investigating?
Yeah, you know, he hears how much I make, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. I don't make very much as a potion seller."
Pyramid scheme. That's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's definitely
I'm going to talk him into a pyramid scheme.
Okay, you talk him into a pyramid scheme. I'll stand there. I guess.
You can back up my story. Every time I say something, you say, "Yes, that's true."
You could be his bodyguard because you look big and tough, and he's got all the gold, so you're protecting him in this deep, dark, strange, scary city.
Are they going to believe that a person as royal as I am is going to be a bodyguard?
I mean, currently you're covered in mud, you're covered in acid and rats. He cleaned up a little.
We could throw more mud at him.
It takes days to get rid of that much filth.
No!
All right.
So, what are we going to do? Potions investigator or help me, and then I show up?
Buyer. Potions buyer.
Potions buyer.
I guess we let Veo decide which one's the better plan.
Potions buyer.
Okay.
Okay, but next time we do the other one.
Next time we'll yeah. Help me.
Are you sure you don't want me to talk him into a pyramid scheme?
Help. It's get help. We could do get help.
I need potions.
To get help.
Okay, wait. If things go wrong, I'll switch.
Okay, and then I'll throw them at you. I'll throw you at them. Sorry.
I'll just turn and see you and say, "Whoa, who is this guy? I'm being chased." That might not work.
As long as you guys keep enough distraction, which it sounds like you can, away from me getting the homework, then we're good.
Just keep them at the front door.
We'll distract them long enough to let you have an entrance into the top floor. You look for anything that looks like investigative notes, and you get out of there before you're caught.
Do I take the notes?
Yes.
Oh.
You take everything.
Just not like mental pictures?
No. You steal
We're
everything.
installing a spy cam in your eyeball.
Can I do that? Do I? No. I can set things on
Too bad
fire.
we can't bug his place.
Later.
Yeah,
Give me
later
more.
when we play Shadowrun.
We'll just put a bunch of bugs in there. Just release
Like
a bunch of
literal
insects.
bugs.
Insects.
Here's
Okay.
a beetle.
Oh,
So to summarize, Sebastian and Paluto will go up to the front door
Mhm.
and knock in a friendly manner,
Mhm.
asking to purchase potions.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Veo will sneak up the second story and start looking around. What's your exit strategy?
If Veo gets everything and comes out, she can probably pop around the side of the house and just wave to us. If things go wrong, I'll start a fire. That's a good signal.
And do you have like what's like your signal, Veo? What's like your ideal signal?
Yell about pork chops.
So
Done.
if we yell pork chops, it means like abandon.
It means you need to get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you yell pork chops, everything's out the window because they'll know you're in the house. Okay, we'll yell pork chops if things go
And then
poorly.
can you make like a bird sound?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Caw-caw!
yeah, that
Like
means
that?
that it's like mission accomplished.
Yes.
But
Okay.
pork chops is
Is
Mission
abandoned
failed.
ship.
if we yell mission we that's okay.
Not
Wait,
failed, but we go
if
to
you're watching,
plan B,
comment
which is fight
or
our way through it. And we'll try to keep him alive.
Now I got a question.
Oscar.
Is there any reason why we may have to come back here and deal with him again?
Maybe we'll come back to buy potions from him for real.
I'm just thinking, like, I can
the
disguise
to
myself.
the ones
so that
you
way
are
when
got,
caught,
thank
there
you
might
for
be a
watching.
reason why I need to come back, so that way I can come back as myself.
Hmm.
Or do you think not even bother?
I think that we leave the disguise for if we ever need to come back here. Then we'll put
There we
on
go.
disguises.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And I will wear a mustache.
I mean, I don't want to get too semantic-y. Is that a word?
We're gonna make it a word in the dictionary.
How much gold do we have? You can even give us like a general idea if it's a lot.
You have, it is a lot. You were paid delirium market value is worth its weight in gold.
Okay.
So you've got.
I can tell you what I'm getting
20
at.
pounds?
I was thinking we kind of split it up so we bring enough that's like to buy a reasonable amount of potions.
You definitely
wanna
have
let them on.
enough here that you could buy several potions.
So let's put like divvy it up a little bit into like a single bag, like one bag of gold, like a separate one that's for buying, and that's what
Okay.
we
Yeah.
use.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
carry
like if
any
you want to
gold?
separate out, like because looking in the bag, most of some of them are trade bars. So inside you've got actual like solid like weight to what you've got there. And so but there are gold coins as well.
Okay.
So you can easily pull like at least 300 gold pieces out of the bag.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. We have
And use
300
that.
gold.
And that's like your potion buying money, so you can dramatically throw a bag of gold to him, like either underhand or drop it on the table, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Because it
Sounds
feels
good.
cool.
Cool. So you approach the manor house. The two of you walk up the cobblestone steps, passing by the fountain, which is again it's collecting rain, right? Like it's raining. And as you see the fountain is just like overflowing with rainwater, and there's like a pair of like toads that are kind of like sitting on the edge of the fountain, just kind of like creaking in the rain. And there's a big knocker on the middle of the left door as you walk up to the doors.
I gently grab the knocker and tap it lightly on the door.
Cool. You can hear quite suddenly within, you hear the sound of what sounds like several glass bottles being knocked over in shock. And what sounds like a man's voice swearing, and a woman's voice who replies in kind. And basically some pretty awful comments that I won't repeat out loud get repeated between them that culminate in the man agreeing to answer the door. As the footsteps sound and walk towards, the door opens up. we'll shift over to Vale. What are you going to do?
So I am going to start to sneak around the side of the building.
Okay.
Looking for somewhere that I can start to climb up the side into a potential window.
Okay. You look around the back, scouting around the building. The windows on this level are long and thin. So the windows themselves are maybe 4 feet high, but they're only about a foot thick, right? So while you could certainly break through the boards that are covering most of these windows, that would not be quiet. The second level, however, is another story. You can see that there are...
That's a pun. The second level is another story.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
As you case around the back, you can see... you case around the back, and there is a single door around the back. And as you come around, you can actually smell someone cooking something. It seems like there's a kitchen door here. You can smell what sounds like probably like a stew or pottage bubbling inside. It smells good, but your bar on what smells good is pretty low. As you come around the second level, on the second level, the windows, there are several larger windows. Some of them still have the glass in them, but one of the windows on the second level, it looks like the glass is shattered, but the window hasn't been boarded over and isn't shut.
Enough of a hole for me to potentially get through without cutting myself?
With your care and caution, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any way or easy footholds for me to actually climb to the second level?
It's a rough stone house, and there's several timbers and everything like that. You've got about 15 feet to go to get to that window. It's a difficult climb up the stone, but not an impossible one.
Okay.
Yep. There are there's at least 5 other windows on the upper level, but those ones, you can see there are thick curtains drawn in front of them, and the glass is still in place on those windows.
Do I see anything that I can use as a ladder, or is it just nothing in the yard?
There's enough overgrowth on the side of the house, and the stonework is rough enough that you could climb it as it is.
I'm climbing it.
Okay. Give me an athletics check, please.
Does my climbing speed play into
You
this
have
at
a
all?
climbing speed as a tabaxi.
I do.
In which case, then I don't even need a check. You're able to simply, climb right up.
20 feet.
Yeah. So you climb up, and if you place yourself on the second level of our little setup there, we can actually let's show that setup.
Which room?
What
the
door?
far window.
This one?
Yeah. That one there. Yeah.
I'm in.
Drop her.
Yeah. So you're at the far setup. So you can see the second level doesn't actually fully. Basically, the roofing that covers the rest of it all comes down from the second level.
Where's the front door?
The front door is right there in front of us. Yeah, where the fountain is. And so you climb up along the second level, and looking in through the window, you see a dark hallway. The second level is all made of wood, and you can see you can smell the smell of like dust and dirty laundry, because there are several piles of disused clothing piled in what looks like this upper room. This would have once been a very nice sitting room on the second level, and as you come over the window, you can actually see there's a dusty staircase leading down. So the window that you come in is right over a staircase leading downwards. Okay. You can smell coming up from the staircase an acrid, almost chemical smell. But the room here is outfitted as a sitting room. There's several broken furnitures, piles of dirty laundry. There's a plate of food on a table across from you, and there are 2 large, well-appointed doors leading off of this room.
Can I see any disturbance in the dust around the staircase?
Looking down, the staircase looks well traveled. People come up and down the staircase. It's just one of those nasty staircases that no one has ever bothered to sweep.
And do I see anything in terms of on the roof, any bearings that I can climb across?
You've climbed up to the window. If you want to climb all the way up to the roof, you certainly could if you want to.
But inside, when I look up, if I were to go in, is there anything I can?
There are indeed rafters. This is the upper level, and there is no attic above this. Although the walls continue all the way up to the middle. Like basically, the central wall here is the middle of the peak of the roof, right? And that's like the structural thing that's keeping the roof up in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are rafters that you could climb up into.
So you couldn't sneak into another room through that. You'd have to go through the door.
No, you have to go through the doors.
Okay.
I'm going to go in the window as quietly as I can. I try to be as sneaky as possible, but I want to grab onto the rafters and at least hide as much as I can in there for now until I figure out a way to silently figure out how to deal with this floor, because I'm assuming there's a bit of a creak to it.
Okay. It's at this moment that you hear some footsteps coming from down below, and this is about the moment when you hear these two knock on the door. And you hear the breaking glass came from the room beneath you, from downstairs. And the two people arguing back and forth were in that room. And they, though you hear the set of footsteps moving on the floorboards below, that thump, 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 and you can hear another door open up. And then Sebastian and Pluto, we move back to you as the main doors open up, and a wiry man in a beige coat, in a beige jerkin, and kind of his hair like greased back with like pig's fat, and he's kind of got like a 5 o'clock shadow to him, and he looks like someone that probably hasn't slept properly in a couple weeks, or doesn't take a normal sleeping schedule, because he answers the door and he says, "What are you doing here?"
Hello, sir. My name's Sebastian Crow, and you might be...
Marco. What do you want?
Oh, there must have been some mistake. I heard that there was an exquisite potion cellar in the area. Do you happen to know...
Oh, you're here to do business. Yeah. Don't... You're in the right place. We got you covered. You're looking to buy.
I was looking for somebody by the name of Oscar. That's the name I was given.
Yeah. Oscar's the one that makes most of the potions. Yeah.
Is he home?
He's working. If you want to buy potions, you can buy from me.
It's raining outside. Would you mind if we came in and maybe do you have a place that we can sit down and discuss?
This one here?
He's my escort. He's here just it's a very dangerous city, you understand.
I'm silent with my arms crossed.
Yeah, we understand. All right. He turns and he closes he says, "Give me one moment." He closes the door and you hear a voice say within, "Gamma, we got customers." Then opens the door back up again, and opens the two double doors. And as he opens the doors up, you see in front of you a foyer. It's a it would have once been a well-appointed foyer, but now there are leaves and mud all tracked into the hallways. Whoever's taking over this place doesn't bother cleaning it at all. There are several barrels and boxes in here. Several of them are really nicely packed. And what you can actually see is that several of them bear the seal that you recognize from the hooded lanterns on it. They're all stacked quite neatly up here. They look like crates of just everyday provisions and supplies.
Don't do this. Thanks.
And
we need those things.
And sitting beside them, stacking them up, is a massive ogre. He is all of his hair has fallen out, and his skin is graying. And you can see there are a bunch of scars and wounds all over him, but he's there like stacking up. And as he turns to regard you,
how many people are in that building?
He turns around, and his eyes are completely milky, and his jaw has fallen off.
And your name is?
Marco turns to him. Don't talk to the zombie.
I was just and
he says, "Come on in."
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Follow.
I
follow.
And so he leads you to the right, opening up another set of doors. And so we will now kind of place you in here. He leads you in. Okay.
Zombie ogre?
So, he leads you through the doors to the right into a great hall. And you can see a warm fire burns in the large fireplace. Its crackling flames send like the smell of wood smoke throughout the whole room. You can see that there's a black marble mantelpiece. Like, this would have been a really nice dining room in its heyday. And you can actually see that there's a framed family portrait over the mantelpiece, but someone has torn out all the faces and then put them on other bodies.
I mean, is that art?
There are illuminating this room are a pair of iron chandeliers that hang off the mahogany woodwork overhead. And you can see the ceilings and the rafters overhead, the rooftop over above. There's a mahogany table in the center, which is just covered in dirty dishes and what looks like last night's dinner. As Marco leads you into the room, he kind of like sweeps a bunch of the plates off the table onto the floor with a crash, turns one of the chairs around to offer you to sit down to it, like thunks it down, and sits down in the chair, and kind of gestures for you to sit down. You can see that like all the other cabinets in this room like have collections of like broken plates and like ruined books. There's a few intact pieces that are on the cabinets, but most of it is long destroyed. You can smell something in the kitchen, the next room over, that's cooking. As he sits down, he says, "Hey, brain dead, clean that up." And a door opens from the kitchen, and another zombie comes out with a dustpan and starts picking up the ruined glasses on the floor and slowly takes it back into the kitchen. And he kind of looks back up at you and says,
"Speak." So there's the zombie, like two zombies.
Healing, something a little bit fancier. We're working on a few new things.
Your
a
name
woman.
Again, sorry, was
Marco.
These three, of course. Marco.
I'm a pretty high stakes person here. I'm looking for something a little bit better than the average potion. Manservant. Place my gold upon the table to show him what we're dealing with.
Oh, it hurts.
You place the gold down on the table with a loud thud, and he leans forward, and we'll move back to Vale.
So,
Vale, you're able to hear most of the conversation downstairs, and you just hear the words from downstairs. Don't talk to the zombie as the doors close, and you can hear someone else kind of downstairs below you, kind of cleaning up some of the glasses, and it sounds like she might be singing to herself downstairs.
Oh.
She's kind of singing a body tune of some kind, as you can kind of hear the tingling of glass and the mixing, and you can hear the bubbling of something below. It sounds like a bubbling stew, but it's too acrid smelling to be a stew.
No. It's not stew I'm going to eat.
Gloria.
I mean, actually,
Gloria.
I probably would eat it. Let's be honest. But that's not my mission right now. Focus. So, I want to still try to sneak through the window and make my way towards the door. Now, how tall are the rafters in comparison to the door?
The doors are standard door height, so they're roughly 7 feet tall.
Okay.
And then the roof is 15 feet at the highest point.
Okay. I try to get up to the rafters, and what I want to try to do is tie a rope to the rafter,
Sure.
slide down, and try to
Like Mission
open the
Impossible,
door.
the
Yeah.
door. Okay, so that's cool. So you Mission Impossible the door. Which door?
The one closest to me.
The one closest to you. So you Mission Impossible down from the rafters to the door.
And I want to stay on the rope because I don't want to touch the ground because I can see that it's an old creaky house, and I know as soon as I step down, it's gonna go. So
okay, so you lower yourself down, and you you kind of turn the doorknob and push the door open.
Yes.
Revealing, and the smell of human sweat and an unemptied chamber pot assaults your nostrils as you open the doors into this disgusting bedroom. There are 2 beds in here. Both of them look well slept in, and like they haven't been washed, or the sheets haven't been changed in 15 years. They look like they would have once been really, really comfortable, but like the mattress has like a clear sag to it, and like the pillows are covered in sweat. And there's 2 large chests in front of each bed, and what look like the ruins and remnants kind of pushed in one corner of several children's toys. And then there's the 2 windows leading into this room, and there's lamps on the bedstands beside each bed.
For now, I'm going to close this room because I happen to not see any papers, and I back up the rope, shift it over, and I do the same thing with the second door. Still looking for all that homework that I'm expecting to see.
The second door is locked.
Yeah, crap. Do I have any tools? I'm like, darn shiitake mushrooms. Need to get this door open. Mess kit. Could I try to open it with my cutlery?
You could makeshift something together with what you have, but you don't have a proper set of thieves' tools.
All right.
So if you can try, but you'll do so with disadvantage.
Okay, I'm gonna try anyways because I might as well be up here and do my best.
Okay.
So what am I rolling?
You're gonna roll. Give me a dexterity check with disadvantage.
I get a 9.
Get a 9. Okay. So you mess around with the lock, and as you're like pulling around with it, you break the doorknob off, and it falls on the ground with a loud king, 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 king.
I slide back up the rope and go towards the window and scoot out. But I stay. You know what? No, if I can, I'm gonna try to now climb towards the roof to get out of the way.
Okay. As
Ever seen a scared cat?
So yeah, you hear a voice go, "What was that?" And the voice, you hear a set of footsteps coming up the stairs. You're on the roof now. You want to go out the window?
I'm trying to get out the window.
You go out the window and you leap up the roof. Okay, so you're going for the window. Yep. They're going to start coming up the stairs. So give me an acrobatics check to see if you can bound out the window and up onto the roof before they get to the staircase.
All right, here we go.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
14.
So as you get to the window, You are on the windowsill and you look down the stairs, and this bedraggled-looking, rather pudgy woman is at the bottom of the stairs, and you make direct eye contact with her. And she looks, and she's wearing all black, like she's wearing she's kind of wearing like black leathers, and she's got this bedraggled hair that she's tied back up in a ponytail, and she's wearing a big thick pair of goggles that she's pulled up back over her face, and she looks you in the eyes and she says, "Hey, what are you doing, thief?" And as you what do you do?
I mean, your food was delicious that was on here. Thank you anyways. Bye.
Okay, so you leap up onto the roof. Okay.
If you see it, just go on the ground.
So we're gonna turn. You hear the screaming out through the hallways. The two of you hear this screaming of thief, thief, thief coming down the hallways, and Marco kind of perks up a little bit and says, "Sounds like we've got some trouble. We better I better check this out." And he kind of eyes both of you suspiciously for a very quick moment. What do you do?
I push the chair back that I'm sitting in, and I was like, "Thieves here? That's ridiculous. We're in Drakkenheim. This place is safe, right?"
I go.
Don't even on the
I
road.
cough it out. My liege.
Yes.
There were thieves.
Royal
earlier
servant.
on the way. It might be the same ones.
The thieves that were after my gold because I'm so wealthy.
It's all that money you made potion inspecting.
I'm a potions inspector,
Oh,
as a matter of fact.
Don't even
And,
bar initiative. Just roll for
That's how I
initiative.
make my living.
Just
You see,
roll for
you could be a
initiative, I
potions
beg of
inspector
you.
too.
Okay, make a deception check with disadvantage.
Bye.
With this and-
Oh, not bad.
18.
18.
Yes.
It was decent funny.
He eyes you up and down. It's like, don't feed me that kind of elaborate bullshit. The potions inspection agency died with his kingdom.
I'm trying to raise it back up again.
At this stage, I'm going to have all of you roll initiative.
Oh no.
Hopefully, it's just a single initiative because
It went well.
It went well. And then what I think
well,
we'll do is
we'll be
this
past
is a
halfway
perfect
point now.
moment, though, for us to take a 10-minute break. Yeah? So we hate to leave you all in suspense, but we're going to take 10 minutes, refill our water, and then get back in with some serious action. For initiative.
Yeah.
And we are back. We have rolled for initiative as we get into a very tense situation. Before the break, Veo had been detected by one of the inhabitants of the Reed Manor, and though Sebastian tried to diffuse the situation by saying they were potion inspectors, it seems the situation has escalated. As Marco turns to you and says, "You just sit right down. I'm going to go check this situation out." And he and as he opens the door to the room, he turns to the zombie and says, "Keep an eye on these two."
You can't leave us here. I'm a customer. I'm paying.
We'll get your money in a moment.
Ugh.
Okay. As we flip back to Veo, you're standing in the window. But Gemma, the halfling woman at the bottom of the stairs, looks at you and sees you going for the window, and she fires a ray of frost towards you. Getting a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. You're going to take 5 points of cold damage, and your speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Why is that joke?
Get back here, you mangy little cat. I'll
I have a
skin you
joke,
alive
but
and make a coat out
I
of
don't
you.
want to say it.
Ow.
Let's just say
Veo, it's
it
your
would
turn. What are you gonna do?
just think of what they would have said on Critical Role, and you'll know what.
Gemma,
what that
as
is,
she
what the joke was.
fires that, she's you can hear this other set of footsteps that are lurching towards the staircase, and Gemma kind of is right down at the bottom of the stairs.
I turn around and say, "That's no way to treat a guest." And I take my bow out and I take a shot at her.
Oh. Alrighty.
Yeah.
This poor lady.
Hey, she iced me in the ass.
Okay, fair.
Oh, 13.
A 13. As your arrow screams down the stairs towards her, she raises her hand and a glimmering shield appears in front of it and blocks the shot.
I take my second attack.
Do not burn down the house.
What the heck? I already fired once.
Burn down the house.
Oh no!
You just fire the zombies, but don't.
10.
The second one is deflected off of the shield as well, although she probably didn't need it in that case. And she grits her teeth and she says, "Get back here! I'll find you."
And I run away.
Okay, so you're gonna. Where are you gonna go?
Out the window, and I want to drop down.
Onto the street or onto the roof?
You know what? I'm going to go up to the roof.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check. Oh, no.
Oh my God.
A 1.
Okay, as you clamber out the window, your leg catches on a piece of glass, and your cloak tears, and you stumble out the window and start to fall. Give me a dexterity saving throw to catch yourself on the windowsill.
There it is.
With can she have advantage because catch doesn't land on her feet?
23.
Okay,
Not
so
beyond-
you are hanging out the windowsill by your claws, dangling there in place.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, this is unexpected.
I'll get it.
It's a tough spot. Hopefully cats always land on their feet. Okay. So, moving from Veo, we go to Marco, who starts leaving the room and opens the next... he moves into the foyer. And opens this next door. And Kelly, would you pull that level off for me?
The second level?
Yeah. Great. Cool. And none of you can see into this, but we'll put Gamma at the bottom of the stairs. And we will put our little zombie beside her.
Oh, I see the stairs. Yes, they went this way.
And we have one more zombie coming out of the kitchen. Okay. So Marco opens the door, and you hear him shouting to Gamma, "Gamma, what's going on?" And she says, "There's a cat up on the second level. I heard her trying to ruffle around and things up there. I shot her, but I think she's hanging by the window." And he turns and says, "No need to bother Oscar. Let's handle this quickly."
Oh, they would actually work for him.
And you see him cast a spell, and all of a sudden, several copies of him appear beside him. Beside Marco, as a mirror images of himself appear. And he starts moving more, and that's all his movement for the turn. He's in the doorway, but you can see that he's ready to like.
I forget
fight
what that
it
does.
out.
It's mirrors, it's not like
what will you do?
the domain trickery.
The big ogre, is he blocking the doorway looking our way?
He's looking at you. He's been told to look at you guys.
Okay.
This is what you were born for.
I don't agree with animal abuse, and I run at the ogre, and I just want to tackle him into the foyer, opening the doorway up for Sebastian.
Okay, so you rush in through the doorway to tackle the ogre to the ground. You want to shove? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to shove, or you just want to?
I want to shove him.
Okay.
Running shove.
Give me a strength check. I didn't do too well either.
11.
I got a 10.
Yes!
Despite neither you nor the zombie ogre make a particularly impressive show of strength, as you kind of like turn what would normally be a football tackle into kind of like a rather pathetic pulling each other to the ground.
Yes.
And do you want to knock the ogre prone, or do you want to push him 5 feet?
I want to knock him prone.
Okay, so you knock the ogre prone, and the zombie collapses to the ground with a lurch. And Marco turns around and is like, "What are you doing? Are you in league with the thief?" What else, would you like to do anything else with your turn?
No.
Okay, so we have a prone ogre, and Sebastian, you are up next.
So now that Pluto has tackled the ogre and they've both fallen to the ground, I step...
Pluto's still standing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I step right behind Pluto.
Okay.
And I say to Marco, "It seems you found yourself in a rather sticky situation." And then I cast web on him.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to web up. Basically, your web's going to go in the entire foyer, and it's going to hit him and the ogre. The ogre. Both of them fail their dexterity saving throws.
Wonderful.
And are ensnared in the webbing.
What's web do?
They are restrained, I believe. A creature restrained by the webs can use its action to make a strength check against. Yeah, it's restrained. It can break out, but yeah, it's stuck there for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're flammable.
They are flammable.
They are indeed flammable, and they are difficult terrain. And they all this massive sticky webs appears in the foyer, basically engulfing the entire foyer in the webbing. Oh, we've got one of our fun templates too. So yeah, we'll just fill that whole thing up. Like, yeah,
just full of web.
Yeah, just full of webbing, and the ogre is restrained in it, and so is Marco. So we will actually move to the zombie ogre, who is restrained in the webbing, knocked prone. It doesn't really have the presence of mind to try to like break out of the webbing. Like it struggles and it like swipes haphazardly towards you, at you, Paluto, but it does so with disadvantage, getting a big old 10 to hit your AC as its meaty fist just kind of swipes out at your legs, and you step basically out of the way of it.
I'm going to repost.
Okay.
And I'm going to just, as he's swinging at me, I'm just going to jam my sword right into him.
All right, do it to it.
Do I get advantages?
You do indeed. Yep.
It's 21.
To hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a solid. The ogre on the ground is like hitting the broadside of a barn.
Yes. And then,
or kicking a dead horse, for that matter.
Microphone.
For 12 damage.
Nice. So you shave off a meaty part of its flesh, and it falls to the ground. As you know, like most corpses don't decay in Drakkenheim, so there's no telling how old this zombified corpse is. If it weren't really for the fact that like the blood is kind of settled in its feet, you wouldn't really know that it was dead. And the wounds, obviously. Okay. So we also have a pair of zombies acting in our initiative, and one of the zombies in the room, it shuffles into the room and kind of begins moving up behind you, Sebastian, but it needs to spend all of its movement this turn to get just right up to you, so it kind of like lurches towards you falteringly, and like it's going to try to strangle you. The other zombie tries to walk up the stairs, and in fact, it has such a problem. Like it's like climbing up the stairs, so it doesn't really make any much progress. Seems like it might be too steep for the zombie, but it tries to clamber up towards now. So we go to the top of the round.
They're not allowed to go upstairs.
With Gemma. And she turns around and she sees all this unfolding in front of her, and she is shocked, and she's like, she turns to Gemma. Gemma turns to Marco, seeing him ensnared in the webs, she turns around and she eyes you, Sebastian, through the through the webbing, and she's like, "You're not gonna get out of this one." And she fires magic missiles at you.
Do you have shield?
And the 3 missiles careen unerringly through the webbing and strike you, Sebastian, for a total of 10 points of damage.
I cast shield, so as they're flying at me, I throw my hand up, and the same glimmering force field appears in front of me, and I stare back at her and I go, "That was pathetic."
Wow, mage duels! Oh, mage duels! Very well played, because that would have otherwise been 3 concentration checks. So she grits her teeth and dives behind the pillar, slightly in the middle of the room, slightly out of sight. We now go to Veo. You're dangling from the roof, from the ledge. It would only take a little bit of strength to pull yourself back up into the window, or you could drop down at this point.
If I pull myself up, do I get a certain amount of movement afterwards?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're effectively prone.
Okay.
So you'll lose half your movement recovering from this position.
Okay, I'm gonna pull myself up.
Okay.
Through the window.
Mm-hmm.
Because while this commotion is happening, I'm going to try to sneak into the locked bedroom that is now unlocked.
Okay. The locked bed, to make sure that before you go ahead, you broke the doorknob off. You didn't necessarily open it.
I'm going to try to kick the door in.
Okay. So you get into the hallway, rush forward to the bedroom. And you're going to kick the door down. Give me a strength check.
20!
With uncommon strength, you bash down the door, sending it flying off of its hinges into a rather well-appointed room, which it's a master bedroom. And it's slightly cleaner than the rest of the place, but it still looks very, very lived in.
Probably cleaner than my bedroom, so I'm going to say, it looks pretty good.
There is a large bed with 2 side tables and several lamps. And there is a large chest of drawers in the center in front of the bed, mm-hmm. and a few other accoutrements and some old pieces of art and statues that are adorning shelves on the walls. But otherwise, it's looks like most of the valuables that were once part of this house have been cleaned out. There's a broken mirror in the corner as well. Mm. What would you like to do?
Do I see any papers or any drawers that I could open?
There is a chest of drawers at the end of the bed.
I want to. How much movement have I made so far?
You've definitely used up. You lost half your movement from getting up from prone. If you're activating your Tabaxi double speed ability,
I'm going to.
You're basically in the center of the room, but all your movement is spent. But you still have your action.
I'm going to ready my crossbow if I see anybody come towards the door.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Nice.
We go up next to Marco, who is entangled in the webs. And you can see his various duplicate images all entangled, like all trying to scramble out. And
it's working.
He is going to attempt to clamber his way out of the webbing. And he actually manages to rip himself free. And he stumbles out the other side of the webbing.
This way?
Yeah. Pluto, it is your turn.
Am I in the webbing?
No, it's been created right in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And behind me is
Sebastian, and there's a zombie behind Sebastian. And then there's the zombie in front of you that's in the webbing.
Oh yeah, the ogre.
Yeah.
Let's do it to it. Let's get this ogre. Let's give it another big old wallop.
Nice.
I just drive my sword into him for a 22.
Yeah. You continue to basically like stab down on this ogre zombie
for 11 damage.
Okay. You're taking chunks off of its flesh, but this creature is enduring an unholy amount of punishment.
Oh, unholy.
As befits a zombie creature.
I'm going to make him. That's good for me. I'm just going to stand in that doorway.
Sebastian.
So I imagine that I start to create a small flame in my hand, but then I look over, and is this the same room that those crates are in?
Yes.
And are they in the webbing?
Yes.
So creating a fire would burn them.
Yes.
I put the fire out in my hand, and I'm going to... I have way too many fire spells, it seems. There's a zombie coming up behind me, though,
yes, there
about
is.
to kill me.
Yep.
He's not near any crates.
No.
I turn around, and I'm like, hello, zombie, and I burning hands.
Okay, you burning hands the singular zombie?
Yes.
Okay. He fails his dexterity check saving throw spectacularly and is engulfed in flames.
Oh, that's
freaking great.
That's 16.
16 fear damage.
16 fire damage.
The zombie is nearly immolated as large chunks of flesh are seared off of its bones, but just enough of it remains that it still is animate, and like these charred, fleshy muscle bits and bone continue to lurch towards you.
That seems worse.
Anything else, Sebastian?
Well, one thing, it's just like a little...
Is the zombie's not right next to me yet, is it?
10 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm going to move into the room.
Betwixt the webbing and Paluto? Yes. Okay.
I wedge myself into the corner to put Pluto between me and my enemies.
Sounds good. The zombie ogre again continues to swipe at Paluto with disadvantage. Ineffectually, it's so tied up in the webbing, and it just doesn't have the presence of mind to try to break itself free. It just continues to swipe at you. The other zombies, however, the first zombie, seeing a struggle going on, it lurches towards Paluto as well, kind of following Sebastian, and it kind of moves forward. Sebastian gets out of the way, so it just goes right for you, Paluto. And it gets a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
Sorry.
I accept the charred zombie.
4 points of bludgeoning damage as it brings its two hands together and smashes you in the face. And it hits you right in the nose.
Oh.
The other zombie clambers towards the mess in the center, and it's just right up on the border of the web. It looks like it's going to, in an effort to try to attack you all, it might try to walk into the webs. So
good old zombies.
So that leads us back to the top with Gemma, who turning around in this situation, she turns around through the pillar and fires a ray of frost towards Paluto as best she can through the webbing. Because the webbing's really obscuring, I'm going to give you partial cover, Paluto. So that'll be a +2 bonus to your AC.
Okay. So you're looking for a 20.
Which I get a 20. Just gotta, rolled high.
She found it.
5 points of cold damage.
Okay.
As she fires the ray of frost through the webbing, sending some of the strands, covering them with a thin rime, and it strikes you as you're kind of caught on two sides between the two zombies.
Zombies everywhere.
Vale,
frost.
We're gonna be over to you. You can hear all the commotion downstairs and the shouting from your companions, but you're still up here, and doesn't seem like anyone's come for you.
I'm gonna make haste and Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
So that way I can, with the speed of the wind, tear through this room to see if I can find those any sort of papers whatsoever. So I look at that chest at the end of the bed and I whip it open.
So we'll opening the chest will be your interaction for the round. You kick the chest open, and it's about 8 pairs of shoes, men's shoes, and several pairs of pants that don't look like they've been washed in a while. it's all clothing in the chest.
Any
Maybe
good
that's
pairs of
investigation
shoes?
notes.
Actually, some of them are really nice pairs of shoes.
I say, you know what? I'll take the nicest pair of shoes in there. And I then use my movement to get out
Okay.
and dive through the window.
Okay. As you do, you hear a jingling in the nice pair of shoes, and you see inside as you go to dive out the window. There's actually a set of keys inside the shoe.
Huh.
Huh.
Well, I'm going to keep both of these. And I... Oh, just wondering if there's anything in that room that required a key to open. I want to go back in the room and see if there's anything openable.
No, wait, there's keys. I run back into the hallway. There's this is somebody's bedroom, but all they had here was a set of keys.
Oh.
In here. Like there's a few odds and ends. It looks like they're like looking on the bedstand. There's a book that looks like it's kind of like a trashy fantasy novel of some kind on
I grabbed that.
on there, and like an extra pair of reading glasses. But both of these look like just bedrooms.
So no, nothing to unlock. Okay. I think I used up all my movement. So yeah, I'm here.
I'll give you the movement out because you kind of like you wanted the more information about the room. So if you want to move out, that's okay. We'll say you kind of found the keys and you look around really quick.
Okay.
Where do you want to move to?
I want to dive out the window.
Okay.
Yep.
You do that. You dive out the window. Cool dive. Cool. You're out back on the estate, having dove out the window. Are you diving out the bedroom window or the window that you were going out before?
The window I was going out before.
Okay, so you dive out and land easily back on your feet.
Cats do land on their feet. Woohoo!
You did it.
I did
Okay.
it. No, I have keys. Jingle, jingle.
Cool.
Are you distracted by that? Are you like, oh,
A little bit, yeah.
You start playing with it like in the street.
We now go to Marco, who seeing this situation really escalate, pulls his magic together and you see a bit of necrotic energy collect around his hands as he fires a ray of sickness at Polluto.
Oh no.
Which goes completely wide, landing with a vicious, acidic and poisonous glob on the wall behind you.
Yikes.
And we move now to Polluto.
What would it look like for me to get? I want to. Oh man, I want to try to get through this webbing, but people are taking pot shots at me through this webbing. I'm gonna finish this ogre. I'm not gonna overthink it.
Cool.
I'm gonna wreck him for 23 and doing 9 more damage.
So you slam your blade down on the ogre. It's severely wounded. It's definitely like bloodied, but it's still like thrashing about. Yep.
Okay. And I just stand my ground.
Okay. Stand your ground. Sebastian, we're over to you.
there's still the zombie in the room with me, right?
No, because you've moved into the foyer.
Right,
the zombie's
right.
caught in the doorway.
There's
Right,
one
it's
at-
caught with Pluto.
There's
Yeah.
one attacking me. There's one on at my feet, and then there's 2 mages in the other room.
Yeah, just a quick question. At some point in this battle, somebody yelled out the name Oscar.
Yes.
Who were they directing that at?
They were, it was Marco directing it at Gemma.
So Gemma, he called her Oscar?
No, he said there's no, your recollection is a little bit hazy there, but I'm going to leave you with it.
Oh, darn. Somebody's
Oh
Oscar.
no! Yeah, I heard Oscar too.
Yeah, somebody's Oscar. Oscar's here somewhere.
He's a zombie.
Maybe. So I can see Marco through the doors. There's still multiple of them?
Yes.
Damn. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray
Okay.
at him.
At Marco through the webbing.
Will it, like, Is the webbing on the ground, or is the webbing?
The webbing's through. I'll say that it. He's in the doorway. He's not quite there. I'm gonna say that you got a straight enough shot that there's no chance of you igniting the webs.
Wonderful. So Scorching Ray, first shot is a natural 1.
Okay.
My second shot. Ooh, that's better. 23.
Okay, let's resolve it. It hits him. It hits the real him. You think? Let's roll the damage.
Nice.
8 damage.
So it actually strikes him soundly in the chest, and he collapses and passes, and it looks like it might have killed him.
Oh.
So I shoot first, and it goes wide, and I was like, that was a warning shot. This is another. And then I shoot him again, and he just falls over, and I'm like, oh. I have a third shot, right?
Yeah, you could aim it at the zombie.
I aim it at the zombie.
Or the other zombie.
I'll aim it at the... Actually, I'm like, okay. And then I turn to the zombie that's fighting Pluto.
Okay.
And I fire my third shot. That's a 12.
That hits.
That's all we needed.
Yeah, still
This is the one that you
12 damage.
lit on fire already.
It is obliterated, and the pieces of the zombie are fly in many different directions. Yeah, its undead fortitude doesn't save it. it's obliterated.
All over Pluto.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Zombie guts everywhere.
All inside my armor. You just love doing that. You just love doing that.
Alrighty, we move to the zombie ogre, who tries another desperate strike at Pluto, which is still going nowhere. It's thoroughly trapped.
I'm gonna repost it.
Oh my god!
And oh yeah, I get 14 damage plus 20 damage.
20 damage total.
20 damage on a 24 hit.
Oh, it's undead fortitude doesn't. No! You behead the zombie ogre.
Yes.
And its head's still kind of going a little bit, but that's the end of it.
Like when he's swiping at me, I'm like half paying attention, and every time he takes a swipe, I just swing my sword down at him. Down! Stop it! Bad!
Cool. The last zombie clambers into the webbing and is restrained by it.
Yes.
Okay. Gamma, seeing the situation turning really badly against him, you see, you shout out, Marco, no! And she runs across the room to the doorway at the base of the stairs and produces a set of keys from inside her cloak, and she starts fumbling with them, opening the doorway. And she gets it open and rushes into the next room. Veo, you're up.
I start to rush around the side of the house to a window to see if I can view inside. I want to. Which way?
To the back or the front?
Which way is north?
North is that way.
So north.
Okay.
Just to see the first window.
So you go up to the arch windows around the back. These are larger windows back here. This one actually isn't quite as boarded up as the other ones, and you can actually see as you come around Gamma opening the door, and you make eye contact again, and she's like, "Shit, you!"
And I also go, "You!" And I fire my bow at her
through the window.
Through
nice.
The window.
Take the shot.
With my longbow, 19.
That hits.
All right.
She won't be able to block that with her shield.
And that's 11 points of damage.
That will slay her. How does it happen?
Can I want to hit her in a non-lethal spot if possible, or is that going to kill her?
With a ranged weapon?
No.
Shoot her in the knee.
Get her in the knee.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
you hit her right in the knee. She took an arrow in the knee, and she screams out in pain, collapses to the ground, gasping.
I know the
reference. On the ground.
Nice.
But she is bleeding profusely and will die quickly without medical attention because of the blood loss. Probably, potentially, like it seems like you've hit like a major artery in her because that amount of damage for her amount of hit points. Yeah, she's gonna go out pretty quick. It is Marco's turn, who is moaning on the ground as he's taking his last breath. Pluto, you're up, buddy.
I'm gonna chase after Gemma.
Okay, so you're gonna chase,
make my way through the web.
All right, you need a strength save and throw, buddy.
17.
That passes my DC.
So it takes all your movement to get to the other side of the web.
Okay.
But you're through it.
And it's all over your uniform.
And then, it's all webby, and I'm gonna just smoke the zombie that's in the doorway. Cool. Just give him like the old. Oh, he's restrained, right?
Yeah.
Do I get?
He's in the webbing.
Do I get advantage?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't help, but 14.
Yeah.
For 10 damage.
Cool. You want to continue forward?
Like, if I can use, like, I want to get up to him and just hit him, and then if I can get past him, but I don't think I can.
And I'll say at this point, with Sebastian going next, the two of you are able to make short work of the zombie, and you'll be able to all catch up together in the next room. So, do you want to dismiss your webbing?
Yeah, I'll dismiss the webbing.
And you make
after
short
Pluto
work of
goes through it.
After I muscle my way through it, and I'm covered in web.
And I step into the room and I kind of kick Gemma over so she's facing up. And I look down at her and I say, "You used to be an adventurer until you took an arrow in the knee."
So the room that you're in, so you've passed through 2 rooms in the process. Now that you have time to actually take stock of your surroundings, this large room here, it looks like it was once the parlor. There are several old bearskin rugs and several animal heads that have been hung in trophies throughout this room. But all the animal trophies have a second life now as coat racks, or have like clothing hanging up to dry on their antlers. And several large tables have been set up in here. The remaining furniture has been pushed to the side of the room because this whole room has been turned into a makeshift alchemical lab. And several alembics and alchemical materials are all laid out on the tables here. And a large cauldron burns in the oven here, filling the room with the acrid smell. And there's a few books that are open on the table that appear to have alchemical instructions in them. And a few other things have been disturbed in here. Looks like the remains of several meals and a few other things here. The room that Gamma is bleeding out in, however, is very moldy smelling because it's filled with books. There's a large mahogany desk in the middle of the room between the arched windows, and it's covered in crumpled paper and open books. And there's this kind of torn up leather chair up against the desk. The rest of the walls are lined with bookshelves. And one of the sets of bookshelves, to the east side, instead of being covered in books, is covered in the statues of small collectibles of various fantastic creatures. The books do not appear to be very well kept in here. Many of them definitely smell like they're molding. And there's even books strewn all over the floors, but there's a pathway there's a clear pathway in the floor of the room that leads towards the desk, but also towards the furthest most bookshelf.
Am I in the room now?
Yes, I think you've all gathered together. And Gamma is like screaming and bleeding out.
I want to tie
She's
off.
yelling obscenities at you all.
I want to tie off Gamma's leg with a rope.
Okay. She'll live until like it'll staunch the bleeding. She'll live for now.
And I say, if you want me to keep this rope on here, you're going to tell us a couple things.
She says she kind of spits up some blood, and says, What, are you here to rob us?
Well, I mean, yes.
Where's Oscar?
He's working.
Working where?
I want to go.
Would you like make an intimidation check?
I get a 12.
In his lab.
Where is his lab? See, this can be easier, this can be hard. You're going to die, or we can try to help you live. I'm looking for Oscar. I have no business with you.
I do like how we do have a lab now.
Ludo, do you want to add to that?
I want to go grab Marco.
Cool.
And I'm going to bring him in to the room.
Okay.
How dead is he?
Very recently.
I'm going to...
There's a large burned hole where his chest was.
I'm going to look on the shelf for a potion. I'm not too concerned which one it is. And I'm going to say, here, feed this to her.
Yeah, there's a few finished potions on the desk. I'm going to say there's 2 finished potions in with the alchemical equipment. They haven't been labeled yet.
What if it's a healing potion, or like a potion that makes her invisible, or like something?
We'll see what happens. Here, give her this thing.
I don't know, man.
I pull the rope tighter.
She screams.
So, just tell us where the laboratory is.
She looks, she sighs. You let me live, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I wouldn't be tying your leg up if I wasn't going to let you live. You could just make this a lot easier and less painful on yourself if you just tell us where it is.
Statue of the dragon on the shelf. Rub its belly.
I go over and I look back at you guys. Do I do it?
Do it.
Okay.
Do it with your...
Can you do it with the hand?
Can't you do it with your weird hand?
Oh, yeah. I step back and I cast Mage Hand and it rubs the
Mage Hand can't activate magic items.
There's a small click as the dragon kind of looks like it is giggling. It moves a little bit, and the bookshelf slides out, revealing a dusty room with a large hatch in the middle, which has a lock in the center.
Hey guys,
guys, we'll never get through a locked door.
I found some keys, and I toss them over.
She kind of looks disheartened. She's like, "I didn't know we kept an extra set of keys."
Yeah, well, we have them. Thanks for the advice. We should probably keep her alive. Anyway, I open the door.
She's like, "You're gonna let me go now, right?"
In a minute.
Well, and I start to drag her on the rope towards the door. Actually, sorry. Here, let me help you up, and I do help her up so that way she can limp.
Okay.
The damaged wizard. Yeah.
I open the door.
Okay. There's a ladder leading down about 15 feet to the building's foundations, to a dusky, torchlit room.
I yell down the ladder. Oscar, we're the potion investigators. We're here to do business.
So they now got a 5th name.
You hear a voice shortly afterwards come up from within.
I prefer the ghostly 3.
And you hear it say...
No bad ideas.
It's this low, like, blustery voice that says... And he swears a few obscenities and says, "Marco, I told you to stop messing around while I'm working. Leave me be. How did you get through the locks?"
My name's Sebastian Crow, and I'm here to do business with you.
A moment passes. It says, "Where's Marco?" comes the voice.
There was an unfortunate incident.
It's always an incident.
"Where's Gemma?"
She's here.
I poke her in the leg.
Gemma, say hi.
I poke her in the leg.
She screamed.
She screams.
She's here.
You up there? I don't know who you are. Are you with spells? Do you have weapons?
All of the above.
He kind of he swears under his breath. You can hear it, and he calls back up from the echoing below. What do you want?
We hear that you're doing some interesting research. And I myself am interested in the ongoings of Drakkenheim involving delirium and the meteor, and I understand that you were the person to talk to. I came to do business with you. Your employees were not very forthcoming with the information I desired, and then they attacked us, and we retaliated, and now here we are.
All right, make a deception check, because it kind of went south on both ends.
I know. Oh no. Oh dear. That was a 7.
Sounds to me like you were roughing up my apprentices.
That's one way to put it.
Pluto, Vale, do you have anything to add?
I want to. I'm gonna throw Marco down the pit. I drag him to the edge, and I just toss him in, and I yell into the pit. Now listen up, you scientist.
We're after your
I don't want to. We're after your homework, and I don't want any trouble. It's just I don't want to have to do to you what we had to do to this wizard.
This was not the initial intent. We came in here wanting to talk. / sneak around, but talk nonetheless.
That's true.
All right.
Now come up
You want
quietly.
to talk? You can come down here.
You can come up here.
No. You want information? You can come down.
Are you going to kill me as I come down?
I haven't decided yet, but I'm sure you haven't figured out that you're thinking about the same thing.
I want to grab the 2 potions.
Okay.
And I, Gemma, I want to turn to Gemma, and I go, what do these do?
She says, poison.
Yeah, we should have. No, I didn't.
She's lying through her teeth.
Oh.
Yeah?
How dark is it, like, if I descend the ladder?
Pitch black.
I want to use minor illusion to make the sound of somebody going down the ladder and dropping onto the platform.
Okay.
And then, can I minor illusion my voice?
Yeah.
So I want to do that so that it sounds like I go down the ladder and into the darkness. And then I want to say from the shadows, okay, I've come down. My arms are in the air. Don't attack me.
You hear the sound of what might be a door or a portcullis being raised, or like opened or raised. His voice was quite muffled. He was definitely talking to you from the other side of a doorway. As light now fills the tunnel. And you did footsteps in your voice, but as the light opens up, he says, "Don't play games with me."
I had to check to see if there was a trap. You have to understand, we're both people of intelligence here.
Fine. Come down, let me see you in the light.
If you try to kill me, I'm going to be upset. And then I do climb down the ladder and drop to the platform.
What about the other 2 of you?
I could have gone first, but I'll go second.
Okay.
Is there enough?
I was gonna be like, nah, let me, the manservant, or something. But
It's about 10 feet down, 10 feet wide.
Wide?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you. I'll go grab the next part. Do you guys want to slide that just forward?
Yeah. I'll just make Joe do it all. Joe, do you need a hand? I think this went well.
3 merry adventurers killing people.
He hasn't died yet. And
we just invaded a chemistry lab. We just started killing everyone.
I mean, that wasn't our intention. Things went poorly because Veo dropped a doorknob. And
I like to think that there were zombies and they were already dead. And so technically I didn't kill anyone.
Killing Marco was a complete accident. I shot him.
He went down in 1 shot.
I haven't killed anyone yet.
As you poke her leg a little more.
Oh, that's a nice lab. Where are we? Right here. That makes sense.
Is there any way that Gemma can go down the ladder with her leg as such?
You could push her.
I mean, I don't want to kill her.
And there's Marco's clumped body at the bottom
but
of the ladder too.
I definitely want her to go first before me because I don't want her running off anywhere where she can get help. So I make her try to go down the stairs. We'll see if she does it without falling.
Cool. Just shuffle around some of the Dwarven Forge.
We're going to make it all pretty for everybody watching at home.
Nice. Looks good. That's okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Scene change.
Scene
Star
change.
wipe.
Magic. We'll figure it out. We'll find a good methodology, I think. But the Dwarven Forge's terrain trays, like for switching stuff out like this, just as an aside, like no marketing, like thing. All the setups are on their terrain trays, and it's actually really easy for switching stuff out like this. So
yeah, they look really cool.
It makes it work really well. So you head downstairs into a rather dusty basement where a torch has been lit and a set of double doors leading to the south have opened up. And a man stands in front of you. He probably weighs about 350 pounds. He's pretty obese, and he has a long kind of coiffed haircut, and a goatee that suggests he's trying to make himself look like a noble. And he's wearing like noble's clothing that he probably found upstairs and is a little bit too small for him, and you can kind of see like his belly button poking out from his shirt. And but he's carrying a staff that he's tipped with a piece of delirium. And as he comes around in the darkness of down here in the torchlight, you can actually see that his eyes are glowing purple with the same purple glow of a shard of delirium.
Oh man.
And he kind of speaks, like he kind of waddles forward at you. He's probably about 5'8", so he's a short and really wide guy. And he says, "What did you do to Marco and Gemma?"
Well, Gemma's still alive.
She fell on this arrow that we that Veo had.
You need to train your apprentices better. I cast a spell at Marco as a warning, and he died. It was really quite pathetic.
Really
I was hoping for a
hostile.
Fight.
Buying
they were
we just
young.
want to buy some potions.
In any case, if you didn't get them, the city would have got them in another couple of weeks. Still, it's hard to find good help out here.
Are you looking for a new recruit?
Not about to hire you lot for anything.
We're clearly better than the last lot you hired.
Are you?
I got plenty of help. I'll figure it out. Marco will make a good enough servitor, at least, for the time being. What do you want? You say you came here to do business.
Yes.
You want to buy potions? I'm afraid I'm going to have to mark you up quite a bit for killing one of my apprentices.
No, I'm actually here for information. That's the sort of business I'm after. You see, we've come to Drakkenheim looking to solve some issues that are happening around here with delirium and with the crystals, and we understand that you are a great resource for research on the subject. We actually heard that you were the best.
Huh. Who told you that?
Sources that we need to keep safe.
What sources?
Secret sources.
You see, there's a lot of scary people in the city. There's
Who have you been talking to?
I mean, we've met up with the Silver Fire Paladins. We've met up with the Hooded Lantern, the Amethyst Academy. We've seen them all. They all are after their own things here. And we're after ours.
Are those your zombies?
They're mine, yes.
Okay. I'm going to just walk right up to Oscar. I'm going to grab him by the scruff of the neck.
Okay.
And I'm going to push him against the wall. I go, listen, nerd. If you don't want what happened to Marco and Gemma to happen to you, you're going to give us all your research right now.
Yes, manservant. Yes.
And there'll be no pricing, and there'll be no negotiation, and you'll be lucky if you get out of this, you necromancer.
He turns back to you. You best not manhandle the merchandise you're after, that idiot. And he points to his head. Most of it's all up here. It's not like I'm looking to publish a paper with the Academy anymore. This is all about me down here. You see this? And he opens his eyes. You see what it's taken me years to get to this point. Just this alone.
Oh, guys, it's inside his head. And I pull out my sword.
Like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, God.
My friend's a little abrasive.
He kind of pushes you off
fine.
him. For a big guy and a short guy, he's surprisingly strong.
Look, I had my doubts about beating up a scientist, but this isn't some kind of pushover. He's delving in the dark arts. He has no.
Well, I'm wondering.
He has no moral compass.
That we were here to get some information, but I'm wondering if paying you to continue these researches might be a better way to get more information from you at a later time, rather than just.
Wait. Pay him with what? You have fish. You're talking about our gold.
Fish is worth a lot.
Okay.
Especially salmon.
Out of character,
delicacy.
though, how are we supposed to convince him to give us his research without...
You're standing right in front of him. There's no place for this kind of discussion.
Fair enough.
We're gonna... I'm listening, Veo.
I think if you want to continue your studies, you need finances, do you not?
I got a provider. Material, everything I need to keep living and working here.
Yeah, but we could ruin that in about 2 seconds flat.
I don't think you could.
We could ruin you.
You'll pay the price for it.
We have ways of extracting information.
I'm sure you do. You see those crates upstairs?
Yeah.
The ones with the hood lanterns?
Yeah.
Who do you think's providing their potions?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is a conundrum.
If you can't touch me, idiots. If you want to keep working in Drakkenheim, hood lanterns get wind that I'm out of here. They'll find out. They'll know. They'll hunt you down. They're like bloody crazy bloodhounds. And I'm the one keeping them alive with all my healing potions.
There's got to be other sources of healing potions. You can't be the only one.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your research on delirium, and I'm hoping I could borrow your research just to study it, and then I'll return it.
You want to stay here? You want to work? You want to earn your keep? You want to replace one of my apprentices? How good with you with a spell book? Did you learn new spells fast?
All of my spells kind of just happen.
Oh, you're a blasted sorcerer.
I'm sorry, you had to study to learn your magic. I can just do it. So
I'm gonna walk past him, and I want to
comparing spells.
I want to start looking in his laboratory.
So as you walk up to him and you kind of look into the lab, You see, it's a large chamber in the foundations of the building. It looks like at one point, looking down, you can see that this room reminds you of the personal training rooms that many nobles in Caspia might have created. There's actually the bearings of what would have been weapon racks in here. It would have been once a well-appointed training room. You can actually see by like the you recognize it because like a training room typically has like a wood, like a good floor, and like the remnants of that are on the sides, but now the bare stone is visible. And he has several racks and surgery tables that are set up as you eye through into the room. And on two of the racks are very clearly corpses. But on another pair of the racks are almost certainly and you can tell that they're corpses on the two racks because they're splayed open. They're insides. But there are two intact bodies on two of the other racks. Whether or not those are dead bodies or not, it's difficult to tell. This is Drakkenheim, so they wouldn't be decayed, but they are intact bodies of a male dwarf and a human man, and both of them have been shaved head to toe. All three of the corpses are shaved head to toe, and their eyes are closed and they appear to be unconscious. There are several vials and syringes and bits of alchemical liquid on shelves all throughout the room, and in the center of the room is actually a pile of several coffins.
Any features like tattoos or scars on the dwarf and the...
Yes, they are both covered in tattoos. Right? And looking them over, they look like gang tattoos.
Maybe from the Blades.
Who are the Blades?
Or the Thieves. The Thieve people.
Is that what they're called?
The Queen of Blades?
Queen of Thieves?
Queen of somethings? The Queen of Thieves. That lady.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to convince this guy to give us his research.
I mean...
Pluto, I leave it in your capable hands.
I want to look at any delirium in the room.
Yes, there is. There's several shards of delirium on one of the far shelves. You can kind of notice its faint glow.
But no parchments, like no scrolls.
Oh, there are. Yeah, there's definitely like notes and research down here.
I'm going to just start picking it up.
You're just going to walk into the room?
Yeah.
He's like, he turns to you and he's like, and as you go towards the door, he grabs the door and like pulls it closed. Says, "What are you snooping about for? That's private."
I want to impose myself between him and the door, and I just start pushing the door open. I'm fighting my way through it.
All right. He's not happy about that, and it looks like this situation is turning aggressive. Veo, Sebastian, what do you guys want to do?
Hold on a second. Before we get a little bit hasty, I just want to take a moment. So you're supplying the potions to the...
Yeah. The Hooded Lanterns, are paying me, and they leave me well enough alone.
How much are they paying you?
They pay me by the potions. They're paying me enough to keep my operations in here, and they bring me the odd bit of delirium. How much they're paying me? Can you bring me delirium?
Well, I'm actually one of the best delirium finders in the city, so...
And can you keep me protected? Obviously, they can't do a very good job of it if you've got this far, but...
I don't want to not provide them with potions, but I want the information. So can they keep providing you with gold, but can we provide you with enough money to go above and beyond with your research?
What do you want from my research? What do you want to know?
Well, there's not a lot of...
Who are you working for? Are you working for one of the other Maleficents in the city? Is it Mordain? Is it Kinnan? Who is it?
I don't know who these people are. We're just here because we all have our stakes in this city. I was born and raised just
But you
outside.
came here looking for research.
I was on tour.
I was informed.
You want knowledge. You don't want just power.
To be honest,
No.
I'm more interested in the fact of why the delirium doesn't affect me. That's the kind of knowledge I'm looking for.
And I want to know about
Are you
my
willing
visions.
to volunteer?
No.
I've heard about it.
I want to look through the knowledge and see if
Tell you
anything
what.
pertains.
We want to
I'll
use your
tell you what I
research.
know. if you let me perform a few little experiments on your cat.
That's out of the question.
What kind of experiments?
The cat.
Life-threatening?
I won't kill you.
Will you make me?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it if we can get what we want. I've survived worse.
I don't know what that means, though. You could turn into something unnatural.
You
But
guarantee
you're
I won't
going-
turn into something unnatural?
I can't promise you that.
Ooh.
But if you stay with me for a few days.
How about this? I'll give you some of my blood in exchange.
Blood would be useful.
If that's the payment you're looking for, that's the payment I'm more than willing to give.
In exchange for your research, 1 vial of tabaxi blood and 100 gold.
I'll give you some fur too. You can play around with the fur as well.
Tabaxi blood. That actually might be something interesting.
And I will actually
This is
not just
Fine.
Oh, okay. Well,
Let's entertain this. Maybe we can be useful to each other.
15 minutes left in the street. In the
Let's
thing. Less than, actually.
come into my lab and have a seat.
Oh, now
See,
I'm allowed
Pluto?
it.
No, oh, no,
You just need to ask nicely. Sorry, my manservant, he takes his job very
drop
seriously.
the roof.
He brings you into the lab and pulls up some stools and fishes out from his equipment a very sharp surgical knife and a metal bowl. And he turns to he turns to Veo.
And I'm
Offers her a
I'm
seat.
petting you, Veo, and like
Turns the
to
knife
try
to
to
you.
calm you.
Offers you the knife,
Oh.
puts the bowl on your lap,
Mhm.
and says, "Bleed," and we can start talking.
and I take the knife and I slice my hand and I just start.
Cool.
Ow.
And basically, as he talks, he holds your arm and like kind of coaxes the blood out into the bowl, and he begins speaking. What are your names?
I'm Sebastian Crow.
Right.
I'm Pluto Jackson, but I want to be I'm gonna walk around his lab. I'm gonna do like the
The survey.
the nonchalant tour while people are talking, and he's occupied with Veo's hand. I'm gonna start looking at the shelves and at the parchments and stuff.
Veo, the man is as Oscar bleeds you, you can tell that he's definitely like medically proficient. But have you ever had one of those doctors that's good at their job but isn't? It's still rough with you. Like
Terrible
they're
bedside
precise,
manner.
but like he doesn't have a good bedside manner, and is just like direct about the whole thing. It's pretty unpleasant. And in the process of this, because he's bleeding you medically, as this process starts, you're going to take 7 points of damage, and you now have a level of exhaustion because you're effectively giving blood.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I'm a bit tired, guys.
But he turns he goes to one of his shelves and rifles through a few things and pulls out a jug of milk and a hunk of bread and puts them beside you.
And I just start downing the milk, stuffing the bread in my mouth. Thank you.
You're with one hand, obviously, because he's kind of he's like, hold still, and he says,
Sorry.
"You want to know what I've been researching? I've been trying to build up a resistance to the haze.
Uh-oh.
Over the past couple years, I've been exposing myself to more and more delirium, and it's done this to me." He gestures to his eyes. "I can drink small amounts of it, and it restores my spells.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It can restore.
I've been looking into some of these interesting things, and I think I might have something. This might be very helpful. Your blood."
Ha! One sec. Okay. I'm doing something right now. 1 second.
Because many of the creatures of Drakkenheim, Tabaxi, the gnolls, The minotaurs and other monsters, they're not affected by the haze. Why does it poison humans? Why does it cause elves to wilt like leaves? It's a strange thing. Some creatures are resistant to it, some aren't. There's also strange plants growing inside the city. Some in the Queen's Park Gardens, where we've started calling them eldritch lilies. And I found that by getting one of the lilies, mixing it in with some of my other fluids and imbibing it, as I drank the delirium fluids, it wouldn't make me quite as sick. But I haven't had any of the time nor the skilled apprentices to get further into the city to collect any more or do any more research or actual
So they just got another client,
testing.
basically.
But I think that with a bit of blood, I might be able to figure out what it is makes you resistant to the delirium, to the haze, and make something of it.
That would benefit me, because I've always been curious about, why I'm resistant and everyone else isn't. So this is very interesting.
But most importantly, it restores spells.
You're addicted.
The delirium itself? Yes, you see, delirium is strange. I've observed it for some time when I could. It grows.
Oh?
People think that the delirium is like a mineral or a rock, but it's not. It's like wood. It's like a plant. It grows. And like any piece of wood, if you chop down a tree, you're not going to make any bigger plants than what that tree was. Make sense? That's why it needs time to grow. And so I think there's bigger pieces of delirium now in the city than there were when the meteor first fell.
Interesting. So you think there's more here than when it landed?
Yes.
Whoa. That's interesting.
This has been very helpful. Is this basically the summary of your research?
It's most of what I found. It's the delirium, mind you, it doesn't grow very fast. It's taken me about a decade of observing it, to watch it. And I found that if you remove it from the city, it doesn't grow anymore. It's like a fungus that needs the right kind of humidity. There's something about the air here now with the haze that it only grows here. That's why I've lived here for so long, because I had easy access to it. I've gone through my fair share of apprentices trying to try various ways of resisting it or using it. So I suppose...
Do you think there's an immediate threat to the city that if it stays here, it could eventually take it over?
He kind of looks at you like he's never thought about that before. And he says, it's power. We'll just harvest it faster.
Have you done any research into speeding up the growth process?
Nothing that's yielded any results.
Yeah.
Sorry again about your apprentices, but the next time that you hire some people, you might want to tell them to be a little nicer to guests.
Where's Gemma?
Oh, I hope she's doing okay.
We did tie her leg. She's bleeding out pretty bad. So do you have a potion we can give her to help her out a little bit?
He fishes over for one of the healing potions and
what does it look like?
It looks like the ones above.
Okay.
So the other ones are healing potions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would she lie to us? We could have given her one.
It's poison.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she
They're
to give it to her.
Oh.
They were loyal kids. They're only useful as long as they're loyal.
Well, hopefully one of them's still alive and we can leave you with one loyal subject. But I think that in the future, if you ever need a little bit more tabaxi blood, there might be more that we can find out if you do more research.
If you make it deeper into the city, you find any of the eldritch lilies, bring them back to me. You understand?
Keep an eye out.
How did you find out about my research? How did you know I was working here?
I mean, we've been in Drakkenheim for a while. She's been here since the collapse of the city. You don't think there's whispers in the streets about the guy who's doing all the research on delirium? I mean, yes, you have a very tight-lipped group of individuals, but things get out. And we find those things out. That's our job.
Humans are human.
Just keep it under wraps. I'm trying to... You're a sorcerer, so you're probably not one of the Academy boys. Then those they're scum in the Academy. If they get wind of what's going on here, they're just going to take everything over. It's been a good riddance that they haven't made it back into their tower.
Too many rules and regulations with the Academy. I tried out for them once and didn't quite make the cut.
I like you. I agree. They, as long as you've got the favor of the higher-ups, they'll let you do anything you want. But as soon as you piss off the wrong people, it's no good.
Yeah, you send one girl to the depths of hell, and, I mean, it's all downhill from there.
I mean, you just try to practice honest necromancy, and raise a family in a good, old-fashioned, honest way, and they have a huge problem with you.
Raise a family or raise a...
Yeah, raise a family,
like an ogre and a couple of people, like humans. Like a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a family.
Well, thank you. This has been extremely helpful, and thanks for being so welcoming to us, even after we pushed you against the wall, murdered your apprentices, one apprentice. By the way, we should...
I'm going to run up the stairs and get the potion up to Gemma.
Okay.
Hopefully she's still alive.
Takes it. And she turns to you. She just looks at you with utter contempt. She's like, "What is this for?"
Well, I don't want you to die. That wasn't the point.
You're trying to rob us blind.
It doesn't mean I wanted you dead.
I hope you got what you wanted.
I respect those that can survive in the city, so make the most of this life.
Marco was my friend.
It doesn't mean he's not going to come back.
Should have been a better sorcerer or wizard or whatever.
Did you kill him, Oscar?
No. He's downstairs. You can talk to him afterwards.
All right.
It probably won't be the last time we see you, so... See you soon, Gemma.
Oh.
She just, looks at you with hate in her face. She does not like you guys. Oscar says... All right. Get out of my house. If you come back... Bring me blood and delirium, and I'll tell you what I've learned.
You wanted the Eldritch Lilies as well.
Too.
Yep.
We take our leave.
Walk out the front door.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, and your bedroom door lock is broken.
What a mess.
There are some scorch marks in the dining room as well. Sorry. There's a few dead zombies that you might have to clean up. One of them's chopped to pieces. Apologies.
I took those 2 potions for sure, but should we grab some of the supplies on the way out from the Hooded Lanterns? If we're gonna be labeled thieves, it's we might as well steal some stuff.
I think that we should leave them because if the Hooded Lanterns know, either we give them to them or that we stole them, we don't want to be in their bad graces. So.
I think we're already in the bad graces because we left everyone alive.
Well, see, I think
they know our names.
No, the confusing part here is that we're discussing this as we're walking down the street. The Hooded Lanterns seem to have given them the supplies in exchange for potions.
Yeah.
So we're not in anybody's bad graces. We got the information for the Amethyst Academy. We left him alive for the Hooded Lanterns. We now have a deal with him to continue his research.
And they can,
it's a win-win-win.
And if the Amethyst thing and they have to deal for more information later on, which means they can always pass it on to the Academy. The Academy doesn't need to make a move. They can.
There's no way any of this could backfire.
No.
Yeah, we 100% need to go decapitate that scientist. Kill Gemma and burn that place to the ground.
Listen, I have some friends in the Lanterns. I don't want to completely devoid them of healing potions. They need all they can to survive in this city.
We're gonna have to talk our way out of this one.
That's what I do best. We talked our way.
We're potion investigators.
We talked our way into and out of this entire situation with only a little bit of murder.
I just had to give up my body pieces to
Look,
do it. So
I honestly didn't want to hurt that guy, but after I saw him, I wanted to kill that guy.
Why?
Because he's a necromancer.
Well,
So am I.
No,
he was
you're
ugly
not.
enough.
I'm
to
a
be considered
shadow
monster.
sorcerer.
You kill things. He brings them back to life. What you do is natural.
You don't-
Forest fires are natural.
You don't know what I'm going to
This
be
is
able to
totally-
be capable of later.
This is totally weird. This is weird.
It's going to get really weird if I take some necromancy spells, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like that freaks me out, man.
I mean, I don't have control over what spells I learn. They just happen. So, I mean, I'm sorry if I raise some dead.
I know.
I'm just glad that I have another person that doesn't necessarily want to kill him. Well, I guess Gemma wants to kill me.
yeah, you definitely.
One person who doesn't want to kill me in the city is a friend made.
By the way, Veo, you've survived in the city 15 years?
Just about, yeah.
And
Yeah.
in what, 2 days of knowing
In 2
us?
days, you've. I mean, I won't say it was your fault that the whole thing went sideways. I didn't say I was going to say it. I didn't say it.
But I also gave my blood so that way you didn't have to kill the guy.
True.
You could have just used his
Pros,
head and brought it
cons,
back
pros,
to the
cons.
mages.
We did it. Let's think positively.
And exactly how you think they would have gotten the information.
3 of them
Like
walked
and
off.
necromancy.
With those words, yeah.
And we're just arguing amongst each other as we walk up. We leave the door open, wide open.
It trails off,
Yeah.
like arguing and bickering as we. Oh, by the way, I'm going to continue to call you manservant.
And I'm going to continue to detest it.
Well, I think that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.
Yeah.
After some very interesting things went down. That was unexpected, the way that worked out. But I do want to, as we wrap things up for this evening, I want to give a really big thank you to our cast. My name is Monty Martin. I've been the Dungeon Master. We've got
Jill Denitis as Veo.
Kelly McLaughlin as Sebastian Crow.
And Joe O'Gorman as Pluto Jackson.
behind the scenes, interacting with everybody has been our awesome operator and extraordinaire Kyle. And a big thank you to our producer Clayton, as always, for keeping things running
And this
behind the
is
scenes.
Free Mention
We
bringing
also
you
want to
this.
give a couple really awesome shout outs. Of course,
This record.
our awesome terrain that we had on our third camera tonight is all by Dwarven Forge, with miniatures by the Whiz Kids line and our custom Hero Forge ones that we ordered. So we've been collecting this stuff for a huge amount of time, and if you want to know where it comes from, that's where it's from. The music that you're hearing tonight is from Tabletop Audio, and they have some awesome completely free tracks that you can use as ambience for your game. So it's really worth checking out Tabletop Audio. And we have awesome game accessories like this from Axe and Shield that we use in our games. So for those of you curious as to all the bling that we set things up with, that's what we're using. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday in the Dungeons of Drakkenheim.
I did also want to thank 100 Years Boar once again for his voice work in the intro.
Yes.
And also, if anybody's interested, we do have a Patreon account that I'd like to mention.
Yes, indeed. You can always find we've got a huge range of videos on our YouTube channel. Please check those out. Everything from players' guides to Dungeon Master's advice. Fun stuff to check out there. Kelly posts a ton of Twitter photos on Twitter from our various D&D campaigns, not just this one. So if you want to see more awesome Dwarven Forge setups, check us out on Twitter at Dungeon_Dudes. And you can find all those social media links in the channel info below. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next time in Drakkenheim.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I will see, and I will also see you next time in Draken. Or the more likely, my next video will be on Legends of Vox Machina. Maybe live stream, perhaps. I'd like to thank my one viewer who watched this live. Where we are. Okay. This is Friedener Reunimentra.